Have you ever seen a rainbow so black and white? It's not what it seems when they say everything's alright. Just sign all the papers, you'll have your career debut. It's your time to shine, now watch me disappear. May I do the sprees, wait a month and ask the higher ups. Meanwhile here's a leash, put it on and let me take you up the stairs of the ship where I put all my big buttons. While we drink champagne, we will life like there's no other. While you get the 2% of what I have the photo bill go back the stream. When all the super chicks they bite the brie, it's all for you, it's especially for me. It feels like analog war right now. Sadly we're not surprised, the year just started it somehow. Expectations were set, I've never seen a rainbow so black and white. In the text about this sinking yacht, papers showed in timelines every other week. Some may pick up their diploma, so to speak. Cause if you're not in by the burners of the month, I'm sorry, it'll take time to give you barras of the minimum. Yes, there's a problem, it's not our fault, it's theirs. It's not suspension, it's a break from your affairs. So, let's make a pretty little document of what your pain is unjustified. I know you reap out the work you've spent, I won't let you say goodbye. Cause it feels like another blur. Sadly, we're not surprised, the year just started yet somehow. Expectations were set, I've never seen a rainbow so black and white. In the tech about the sinking yacht, in the tech about the sinking yacht, in the tech about the sinking yacht.
Love me a good song, chat. Love it to bits. Hello there. How you've been during this past week as we thought that the Nijisanji situation was just about ending, but then they decided to do the unthinkable and shoot themselves in both feet repeatedly, and also shoot their talents, their onboarded talents, right in the fucking head. How will this all turn out eventually? Who the fuck knows? But we're here to find out what has actually happened during this last week, and there has been a lot of things. And I hope you appreciate this little recap and a song created by a person called Nerdicality. I am gonna link you his channel and the link to this song right now in the chat. You can go check his stuff out. It's a really nice song. It's also a really nice recap to all the things that have been happening with Selen / Doki. So in case you needed a recap, I'm not gonna give you a verbal one because there's so many things that happened, and even in this last week there has been so many things that have happened. But before we go any further with this stream, I need my lo-fi music. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a very empty stream without any background music. I am absolutely sick without it. So let's see what's good. What's on the menu? Let's see. Lo-fi beats or something else. Maybe Miami Nights. Miami Nights is something I always end up playing whenever I've played out all of my other choices. I need to expand my music because there's a lot of things that I wanted to play. So Miami Nights it is. Jordan Brown, thank you for the 10. Let's see what you wrote there. And just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, Niji says to go up in Fireball. More speculated HMS Hood's lucky hit from KMS Bismarck. Very apt comparison. But in case you're new here to this stream, you probably see a little bit of dancing girls on the left side. There used to be a third one, uh, which I decided to replace for this particular stream. Well, why? Well, because the dancing trio is gonna get a new member, and I wonder if you can guess who it is, Chad. Can you guess? Can you guess who's gonna be the third dancing member of the trio? Uh, we have Aru from Blue Archive. Uh, we of course have we as well. But who's the third member, chat? Like who could it be? Who could be the third member of the dancing troupe that will accompany us on our journey through Nijisanji drama? Could it be the yacht man himself, CEO of Any Color, Riku Tazumi? Glad of you to join us, Riku, as we discuss your company and how it's sinking better than the Titanic. So Riku here will join us in the corner. I think we should put him up as one of the only people here, because he's the star of today's show. So the other girls can go away for a bit, and Riku here will is gonna dance away. Just gonna, provide a little bit entertainment for us as as we're talking about his company and his awful decisions, or rather the awful decisions of the people that he hired. But then again, hiring someone who's incompetent that hires other people that are incompetent, which I presume happened, is something of a black mark on himself as well, because you can just put up as many apologies as you want to your investors. It's not gonna end up well ultimately for you anyway, because you're running an entertainment company, and an entertainment company lives and dies on public opinion, especially on the opinions of your fans. And the fans have had enough. A lot of them had enough, and we're gonna take a look at some of those reactions as well today. But with every stream, I have divided it into several parts. I don't know exactly how long it's gonna be. We're gonna be playing a lot of video clips this stream, because there's some video content here that needs to be covered. Probably not fully, because there have been so many people covering this stuff. I mean, as mainstream as internet drama can go, as internet issues can go, this has reached so many people via so many different YouTubers and VTubers. I mean, people like Asmongold have talked about it. People like Moist Critical have talked about this. Like, every single popular person that you may know from the internet has probably talked about this in some capacity. But all of them, usually most of them rather, had a lot of surface level stuff. I'm gonna go a little bit in deep when it comes to this stuff, especially when it comes to people's reactions, because people's reactions are what we are here for, because there's always someone losing their shit over things that aren't their business, and this is gonna be one of those cases too. So what have I divided the stream today? Well, there's gonna be several arcs to this. First one is called the Escalation. The Escalation is us gonna going through all of the generalized information that has happened in the last week, meaning all of the Nijisanji faux pas that have happened, and that is the infamous message from Nijisanji stream by Elira and crew. Then we have Addressing Your Concerns by Riku Tazumi, of course. And then we're gonna also take a look at some of the replies that Doki Bird has issued due to the statements that they have made. And lastly, with this arc, we're gonna take a look at some of the reactions to that, and we're gonna take a look at reactions to Alira's video, to Riku's video, as well as some reactions on Twitter, and things that also happened under Vox's tweet, because Vox was one of the primary people there that has kind of taken a stand on all of this and might have shot himself in the foot as well with this sort of stuff. We take a look at that sort of stuff too. And moving on from the Escalation arc, there's gonna be the big Scarlet caper. And what's that? Well, we're gonna be trying to solve a mystery that Scooby-Doo couldn't even solve. We're gonna try to find what happened to Scarlet and where she went off to, because Scarlet kind of got what would you even call that? Well, she stood out in a very good way, apart from other Nijisanji talents here, because as you'll soon find out, a lot of them have unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for them, because they get to keep their jobs, repeated statements that people didn't like, and also made their own statements that people didn't like. But Scarlet didn't. Scarlet just kind of disappeared for a while, and then people tried to find her. Did they find her? Well, you'll find out in this stream. How did they find her? You also find out in this stream, and that implicates Nijisanji into the whole nother thing regarding Scarlet's disappearance and subsequent emergence, with how people that know her actually handled the situation. But you'll soon find out what this is going to be about. Of course, I have to talk after all of this happened, after, you know, the sequence of events with Nijisanji, and their continued incompetence, stupidity, or what have you, because at this point it kind of seems it's a mixture of all of these things. It's not just one thing. We're also going to be talking about the Gurat. What is the Gurat? Well, the Gurat is something that has been circulating on the internet, and that is the Grand Unified Rat, or the God Rat. The God Rat is going to be something we're going to be covering kind of in depth as well. We're going to be reading through most of it, and then we're going to find out what actually happened to the Gurat, because the Gurat has kind of killed itself at this point. And after the Gurat, we're going to take a look at what I decided to call the Gay Ops arc of the stream, and that's going to be the last arc of it. And what is the Gay Ops arc here? Well, the Gay Ops arc is us looking through what the Niji sisters have been up to this week, like what kind of shenanigans they've been up to, what have they done in order to further the message that Nijisanji is the good guys, that they're good boys, did nothing wrong. They ultimately tried to use several tactics in order to get their message across, but, you know, since they're Niji sisters, and Niji sisters are usually composed from underaged, very often Chinese, and very often quite stupid people. So of course they're gay ops, meaning their ability to subvert public opinion about Nijisanji and any color in general has been quite limited, and also subverted by other people, because, you know, once you try to do things in secret, but you think that nobody's watching, even though you have a very public forum that you post all your plans on, and then you wonder why people hijack your very oddly phrased message, then, you know, that's gonna be something that's just gonna end up being taken the wrong way by so many people. And in this whole arc, we're not only going to be taking a look at what the Niji sisters did, but also what other people kind of related to the Niji sisters also did, because it kind of seems like there has been this coordinated effort in order to make Selen look bad, to make Doki look bad because of her actions, and people have created this huge fucking document. Well, it's called Selen Tatsuki / Doki Bird and Nijisanji Yen, A Different Truth, which is a very long document that ultimately tries to come off as neutral, unbiased, and very reasonably put together. But behind the facade of all of it is just a smear piece on Selen, and frankly, this whole thing also got edited and modified as days passed, because it got a lot of backlash, as essentially this whole document can be summarized with "too long didn't read, this bitch is crazy and do not trust her," and by this bitch they mean Selen here. And this whole document also spawned its very own counter document. So instead of reading the whole smear piece in its entirety, we're actually going to be reading the response to it, because the response to it is also something else, because it's kind of debunks and also deconstructs all of the neat tips and tricks that the Niji sisters tried to pull over you in order to make you feel that Selen / Doki Bird is a crazy person and she could not be trusted, and Nijisanji is not an evil company. They're just kind of just a little bit incompetent, just a little bit misunderstood, and the talents that they onboarded are also good boys and girls, and they never did anything wrong. So we're gonna take a look through that document. We're also gonna be seeing a little bit of reactions by other Niji sisters on Twitter, because they've been fuming, absolutely fuming about what was happening to their favorites and also to their favorite company. And you will see quite a bit of that behavior that I described before. Childishness, naivete. There's a lot of that as well, because again, Nijisanji's fandom mainly composed out of very young people, some very often underaged, or people in their 20s that have never matured enough to form cohesive and coherent thoughts of their own. So they'd rather regurgitate what other people tell them and come to outlandish conclusions about things that simply aren't true. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And starting off, without further ado, let's start with the escalation part of it all. So just let me get those tweets up, and then we can start. There's going to be, again, a lot of video content, so be prepared for a longer stream. Not sure how long it's going to be. I don't want it to end up like 7 hours, because I've seen so many people do 7 hour, like 6 hour streams on this. Mostly, meandering, trying to get to the point. There's a lot of chat interaction that also gets in the way of that. So I'll try to be as brief as possible. But considering the amount of information present currently, well, it's gonna be a tough mission to get through. But I will do my best, and we'll see what we'll end up with. So let me just get the first part up, and then we can kind of talk and deconstruct everything that has happened thus far in the last week. Just give me a moment. It's the escalation, and there it is. That's a little bit too big, but I'll deal with that. There it is. The thing that started it all once again. Hi everyone. Thank you for your patience. During my absence, myself and some others will be speaking about the recent situation 30 minutes from now. As Elira Pandora of Nijisanji Yen decides to talk about what has been happening with them, and she brought the crew along, and I'm gonna watch that video. So let me just pull it up real quick, and then we can take a look at what Elira and her buddies in Nijisanji had to say. But before I do that, be prepared for a lot of this.
This woman!
Be prepared to feel like this.
This woman!
Again. And one more time, in case you didn't see
this
it.
Woman!
Be prepared for a lot of this. Because you're gonna be feeling like this, I presume. So just let me get that video up. So continued escalation. There is a message from Nijisanji. Hold up. Let me get the music off for a bit, and then we can watch it. Hold up.
Hi, this is Elira Pandora. Thank you for taking the time.
Again, the video is going to be black for the most part, so be aware of that.
Time to listen to us today. Vox and Ike are also present here with me, and we would like to take some time to address the events surrounding Zelentatsuki's contract termination.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
To preface, we have discussed with Any Color staff and our legal team about what we are able to say. However, due to how sensitive the situation is, please do keep in mind that there are limits to what we're able to share. Both we, the livers, and the company have been affected deeply and are taking the situation very seriously. Everything that will be discussed has been approved by our lawyers or is based solely on our personal experiences. Before anything is discussed, there is something very important that we, Nijisanji Ien, feels need to be made very clear. All of us do not condone harassment of any kind to any of the parties involved. After discussion with the members of Nijisanji Ien as a collective, I volunteered for my channel to be used for this stream. Additionally, we've been told that there will also be a video releasing regarding the situation from Tazumi-san directly a few hours following this stream. But what we say on this stream is our own words and our own feelings. I would like to first apologize if my silence on the matter has caused any worry. Over the past month, staff received documents from Selen's lawyer containing examples of her claimed experiences under Any Color. These documents in question included personal information of some livers, and when it was sent to us, we learned that there was a potential that this information could be made public. Some of the information...
Do remember this word potential and the actions they decided to take due to this potential, which is the thing that I mentioned of them shooting themselves in both feet and then in the head because of the potential of what Selen / Doki could have done with this document. This is the reaction. This whole thing that happened is the reaction because of the potential. And we're gonna discuss why this word potential is important here and how stupid this decision is that they made. Just making this statement overall.
Poses a risk to our personal safety and puts some of us at risk of doxing. Notably, one section of this document alludes to where Millie, Anna, and I live. However, there are also harmful claims Selen made in the document about some livers' personal information that we believe are simply untrue. I felt threatened and scared of speaking out about the situation because of the risk that it could pose to not just my own safety, but the safety of those around me as well. I'm very sad that this is how everything had to turn out, and I deeply apologize to all the fans who have been affected through this time. When Selene had posted the tweet about her cover being privated, several EN members reached out to Selene, and we expressed our concerns. We were genuinely concerned, and we wanted to understand the situation, as we were all in the dark about it. Once she notified all of us regarding her hospitalization, we immediately reached out to her, each other, and her manager to confirm her safety. Her manager also immediately reached out to her and her emergency contact, and kept us updated throughout the entire situation as well. It's been a very tough time for a lot of us, and I'm honestly not sure what else to say, but thank you again for everything, for waiting, and thank you.
Thanks, Alira.
No,
you're
no
right.
worries.
Yeah, it has been a really, really tough time, and it's had an effect. I've noticed it's had an effect on everyone. It's had an effect on me too. So I'm joining this stream to talk about my experiences with Selene, to lend some of what I know to help you all understand the context of this a little bit better. I know that a lot of you watching are going to have your own views and opinions on the situation, and so all I would like to ask is that you can take the information that I'm going to present at face value, if you can. So, this recent situation began when Selene claimed on Twitter that her most recent song cover had been made private by staff, and she gave no context or reasoning as to why. In actuality, she had been asked to send the content of her music video to her manager in advance of the release date so it could be checked for content, etc., which is something that all livers agree to do.
This is pretty much the only gotcha, or at least they think this is the only gotcha they have in regards to Selene actually getting permission in order to release her cover of Last Cup of Coffee. And again, this is the only thing they have, timestamps showing, that Selene at that point has not received the proper permissions from the staff in order to release the song. Despite, Selene just outright saying that many times before that she has received permissions from the people that actually made the song, and they had the blessings, and thinking that the management will be fine with this, she released it anyway. And here the gotcha they try to present as this ultimate evidence showing that Selene is to blame for this is the fact that the management didn't get back to her in a timely fucking fashion. But let's continue of what they had to say about this particular thing.
Manager communicated with her about this very clearly, but she released her cover without giving management time to check it, and as a result, it needed to be made private. It was going to be made public again once the checks had cleared. Management absolutely intended to let her release the cover once they'd made sure that it was okay to release.
In how many months, though? Because as we all know from even Zion's, you remember Zion Lanza, now Sayu, her dealings with management always came at the cost of her time. Management at Nijisanji always takes forever to actually do anything. And even from these timestamps, you see how long it fucking takes them to do any fucking thing.
It's very important to establish this pattern of events had happened before on multiple occasions, including her Fall Guys tournament in August of 2023, a voice pack in May of the same year, and an outfit contest also in May. In each of these situations, Selene would be working on one of the projects I mentioned. She'd be given clear communication about confirming certain aspects with staff, as all other livers receive and comply with. And each time, she would refuse to cooperate. And when staff would react appropriately, she would make public statements that would hurt any color's reputation. And as these situations kept occurring, myself and other livers felt very upset and anxious. We felt that these statements harmed all of us as a group. Excuse me. So, it's this context that I hope explains why myself and some other livers decided to approach Selene and ask about her handling of the latest situation, which was her cover being made private. So some livers, myself included, asked Selene why she tweeted about the cover in the way that she did, expressing that we felt it was unnecessary and harmful. According to Selene's lawyer, it's this event that they claim to be a build-up of, and what they claim to be a build-up of past experiences that led to accusations made by Selene that she was bullied and harassed. As you can imagine, this is incredibly serious, and I want to state that throughout my friendship with Selene, I did my best to support her in private and talk to her about any problems she might have been having whenever I had the chance. Having thoroughly reviewed the documents sent to Anycolor by her lawyer, and based on what I know personally and have been told by Selene as her friend, myself and other members vehemently believe these claims to be completely untrue. I feel very confident in saying that the way I and other livers communicated with Selene about this incident was fair and reasonable, especially considering our built-up anxiety over this repeating pattern of behavior. In my opinion, I do not think that it was a form of harassment. Also in the document given to Anycolor by Selene's lawyer, it stated that Selene had secretly recorded me in a private voice call without my knowledge or consent. Now, I have absolutely zero memory of what I might have specifically said in that recording.
We'll get to what that actually is later on, because it might seem very sinister the way Vox puts it, but it's really nothing as major as some people thought it was.
But we know it was on the topic of the tweet that I had made around the time of AR Live's cancellation last year. From what I know, based on this document, Selene had wanted to use this as proof of staff showing favoritism for some members over others, as at the time I wasn't reprimanded by staff for having made that tweet. I followed this issue up with my managers, and I was told that they didn't reach out because they didn't want to cause further controversy at the time. However,
what is that called, chat? I think one person not getting slapped by management for actions that may prove to be harmful to the company, just because that person makes them a lot of money. I think that's a thing they call favoritism. Don't you think? Don't you think that's favoring some some talents over the others? Because he just defined what favoritism actually is in those terms. So I don't know what he thought that's gonna explain to people, whereas he just outright explained that he's being favored by the staff there. Oh, we don't want to cause controversy for our biggest EN money maker. That would be a bad look. Might have impact on the bottom line there.
I've been asked to delete other tweets on multiple occasions when I've accidentally broken a rule. In these cases,
accidentally, sure,
we're politely informed that when we should avoid tweeting something, we apologize, delete it, and move on. The real issue here, however, is that someone I trusted and considered a friend not only recorded me in secret, but also that these recordings were held without my knowledge for almost an entire year. The fact that this was held throughout our friendship is really upsetting to me. Until now, I had always looked up to Selene as...
He's very upset, as you can tell from the tone of his voice.
...my senpai, and...
Let's not forget that he chuckled smugly a few minutes ago about something.
I felt really lucky to be her friend. Having to talk about this now and seeing how this is...
Or maybe, you know, it's just the way British fucking people speak. Always so pompous. But then again, you know, considering that Vox is a voice actor, he would probably know how to enunciate and put forward his emotions in a proper way. But what the fuck do I know? I don't work at Nijisanji.
...played out is, again, heartbreaking. Selena told me privately about her disagreements with staff and her managers, and I had done my best to support her and to help her make what I thought were the right choices, even when she talked about wanting to graduate. For context, leaving Nijisanji is always an option for livers. If she had wanted to graduate beforehand, she was given very many chances to do so amicably. And on multiple occasions, Selene had told us
if you don't like the way we run our company, you're always free to leave. Spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on projects. We won't help you with that shit. You don't like how we treat you. You don't like how we step over all of your efforts in order to please your fans. Just fucking leave. You can always leave. Like if you don't. If you don't like the fucking house you live in, just build your fucking own.
she planned on graduating, but would then go back on this shortly after. For example, she told me that she would be graduating on the day we hosted the Prism Cup, but as you know, this didn't happen. She also, after being warned by staff due to her repeated rule breakages in May of last year, told other livers that she was being terminated at that time, when, like I said, she had just been warned, nothing else. Because I trusted her so much, and I listened to her narrative of half-thought untruths about her relationship with Anycolor, this caused me so much anger on her behalf that I had considered graduating with her in solidarity, seriously. And I now know that my intense feelings at the time came from omitted context and falsehoods. And that, once again, is heartbreaking. I'm incredibly happy with
If only, you know, his tone, again, if only his tone matched what he's saying. Heartbroken, dejected, utterly against the fucking wall with emotion.
my job. And even in the face of times as hard as these, I really wouldn't want it any.
Also, let's not fucking kid ourselves. He wouldn't graduate. This is the best thing that has ever happened to him in his life. He has fans that will, like, literally fucking bend themselves over to fucking please him. And we'll see some of these fans, these infantile, naive, completely devoid of critical thinking fans. We're gonna be taking a look at them as well, because his fan base is something fucking else.
The other way. So regardless of how I now feel about Selene having been my friend and having hurt me and my fellow livers in this way, her attempt on her life will never ever be something to be taken lightly. I recall the moment when I and other livers found out about what had happened, and we prayed for her safety then, and we still do. Regardless of the outcome of the situation, I genuinely want nothing more than for Selene to grow and to be in a safe place where she can look after her health, insofar as me and the rest of EN can heal in our own way too. To those of you watching this stream, please, please leave her be. Harassment of any kind is vicious, and it's insane, and it has no place in this community.
Let me reiterate just what he said right here. I just called my former friend, someone I held dear to my heart, a fucking liar that omits context in order to make my money-making scheme look bad. So even though I just called her a fucking liar in front of hundreds of thousands of people, I do not condone harassment, and I want all the best for her. That's why we, all of us collectively in this video, we decided to make a statement. Despite never being mentioned by fucking name publicly by neither Selene or Doki Bird. And we're gonna be talking about why they did that as well, because this whole thing is just a huge fucking mystery to unravel.
That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vox. Before we round things off, I also had something that I wanted to say. It's going to be a little bit on the shorter side. By the way, hi, I'm Ike. First off, I just wanted to say, like, preface this with, like, sorry if I have a hard time finding the proper words for anything.
I mean, this whole video is pre-recorded, by the way. You could have easily made the script instead of going ad-lib. Mind you, this is an official statement by Nijisanji EN. This is not just some you know, people just shit talking, even though they are essentially shit talking. So this could have been prepared much better without all of these interruptions. So whoever approved of the statements that they made here is also problematic on their own, because who in the right mind in fucking PR allowed them to do this in the fashion that they did this? Like, why did they do it in the first place?
A little bit all over the place right now. Excuse me for a second. For
Yeah, that's how prepared they fucking are. They had to leave the fucking whatever the fuck he did bottle opening sound there.
very long time,
I know that's kind of petty to point out, but it just shows where the fucking competency is in this whole thing.
I considered Selen as a good friend within Nijisanji EN, be it on stream or off stream. We always managed to get on really well.
Leave it in.
So that's why it was so shocking for me to learn that Any Color had received these documents from Selen's lawyer. Learning about what was contained within these documents was, to me personally, incredibly saddening. Knowing that the things said within the document were coming from the very same person that I call my friend was hurtful and disappointing in a way I really don't know how to describe. Not only because of it made me now re-examine our entire friendship, but primarily because the document contains some information that we believe is incorrect, that could be harmful for us, and it's just private information that is very terrifying to have being, shown before you like that. Right now, we're all very stressed, but in spite of this, I feel like the public deserves to, at the very least, be aware of the existence of these documents.
Why? Why the fuck would they need to know this? Again, you have to understand that Doki, Selen, never mentioned anyone by fucking name. She never said anything about this. She only said that she felt harassed internally. She never even uttered that other talents were involved in this. So people just assumed management decisions led to all of this. And herself, she wanted to make sure that all of this was handled in private. So I ask you this: why the fuck would the public need to know this unless these dumb motherfuckers thought that Selen is just gonna go all guns blazing public with all of the things that Nijisanji talents have done to her and the management has done to her over, the course of a year or months, or how long it took for Selen to be fed up with her situation. So why the fuck would people need to know this? Do they not understand how damaging this is to them because they implicate themselves? They outright say that they're named in this document, meaning that people will now think that they are harassers by name? How is this a good PR move? Specifically, Selen wanted to handle all of this in private. This could have prevented this PR damage completely. Well, not the termination part of it, because people were already speculating, but this would have been only left in the realm of speculation at this point. But now, people are starting to think, about concrete names that were allegedly involved in her harassment. So, again, shooting themselves in the fucking feet and then in the head, considering what has been happening to, Nijisanji stocks, for example, even though they recovered somewhat, but still losing hundreds of millions of fucking dollars on this is something people will not like from their investor and shareholder perspective,
as well as of some of its contents, for the sake of transparency and honesty. We understand that the past week of radio silence has been really difficult for all of you, but please rest assured that we have been working very, very hard to try and understand what it is that we can and cannot say about this. But we wanted to make sure that what we shared was as much as we were able to share. Within Nijisanji EN, everyone always makes an effort to make sure that anyone who wants to be included in something has the opportunity to do so, whether that be online or offline. And all of us will continue to do our utmost to provide a safe and fun environment for fans to enjoy together.
not for
And
selling. though.
lastly, to round this off, I want to reiterate, please do not spread hate to anyone involved in any way, shape, or form, or anyone in general, honestly.
Yeah, don't call our former colleagues liars. That's what we do. This is not your job; it's ours.
We ask that in these times you allow us to continue our activities without asking us for any additional information about the situation. At this point, it's an issue for the lawyers. And
It was already an issue for the lawyers, but she decided to drag it into the public and make a huge show out of it.
we ask that you do not pressure any of us to discuss the matter beyond this point. Please reach out to any color for contact regarding anything else. And I think that's everything from me. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you.
And yeah, and that's the 15-minute video. What you also have to understand about this particular one is that when did it actually happen? Well, guess what? This particular video was dropped at the very same time that Doki was streaming, and her stream got interrupted because of it. Had to be cut short. She wanted to play Neopets, and you know, ironically, you couldn't play Neopets in Nijisanji, and she couldn't fucking play Neopets outside of Nijisanji too. As the 15-minute video by Elira and crew was dropped at the same time that she was like 20-something minutes within her own stream. And we're gonna watch a part of that too. But first, the statement she made just right after the stream. I will say that I never supposed to be shown to anyone other than me, my lawyer and other relevant lawyers. It was a private document with my own personal information. It was used as a legal document, help my lawyer and document my funds. Plus, was never supposed to release anywhere else to any other parties outside of legal department. It makes me wonder if my medical and hospital records were also released without my consent. And I was also promised to be kept private. And moving on, let's follow up to this as well. I'm currently talking to my lawyer, and thankfully only my diagnosis and reason for hospital stay was reported without further private info being disclosed. It was requested that none of this info should be revealed to anyone other than legal. Thank you everyone for the support. I really wish things didn't have to go this way. I didn't say anything more. I was ready to move on and start a new life, but you know, Nijisanji pulled her into all of that. And we're gonna watch part of the stream where all of this actually happens. So just give me a moment. Where did I put it? And here it is, part of the escalation. The Neopets stream that didn't fully happen. Let's move into the
That means
part.
that I am now required to release my releasing it later, but because of what's going on anyway regarding this, anyway,
There we go.
I can say this because my medical history and my medical documents and everything that me, my lawyer, and other people that were involved with, it was all signed and agreed upon. So regarding this, it was very unfortunate that that was done. Anyway, I do have more evidence and more receipts and more statements later on. Anyway, all I really want to do is play Neopets, and nothing about that is gonna stop me from playing Neopets, because
Sadly, it was stopped. It's 27 minutes in.
Neopets brought me a lot of joy, because that document also has private information regarding me and regarding things that should never have been public to anybody else but me and my lawyer. So that is all I'll say. Anyway, sorry, I had to make that statement because I believe that there was another thing that was going on at the same time, and that I had to make that statement as someone else has been messaging me about these things, and I really wanted to say that out right now. But I will be making a further statement regarding this that my lawyer has written out for me and has been planning, and we were planning on releasing it later, but because of what's going on right now, we will release it sooner than later now. But yes, I really wished I really wanted to move on from all of this, and was going to move on and everything, and was never going to address this anymore. But because they've decided to address it, even though I wanted everything to be over with, that is not my fault. And because of this, I will have to respond with a document that my lawyer has written and I have written up, just in case something like this did happen. And because of that, I guess I will be releasing this document very soon. I prepared something just in case, but I was going to keep it quiet and keep it private. And because that has happened, that means that I am now required to release my story and release my statement. And I'm very, very saddened that my privacy was violated with this, as this document that they're saying was never supposed to be out between me and my lawyer and the other lawyers. So we signed it and said that it was supposed to be kept between us. And the fact that they did not keep that promise, and the fact that they released it to public, and the fact that like people that shouldn't have been reading this read it and has my private information regarding it, that was very unfortunate. So I try to leave on as good terms as I can. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that this happened while I I wanted to have a good first week, and like I said, this is the only thing I will say, and my lawyer and I will release the document that we were preparing in case something like this did happen. Yep. All right, that's all I'll say. Anyway, let us create our Neopet. As we all know, I wanted to
Moving forward a bit because again, unfortunately, the Neopet stream didn't happen the way she wanted it to happen.
I wanted to create I will have to talk to my lawyer after the stream, so we're gonna keep this stream very short, but everything else will be on scheduled. Everything else will be on scheduled from here, and for tomorrow I'm still gonna do the Apex season launch, and everything else will be kept on schedule. But unfortunately, because of everything that's going on, I will have to talk to my lawyer, and I will have to talk to my lawyer about all of this and finish up the document that we have been working on. So that's very unfortunate. I really wanted to have a good first stream starting this week, but because of timing...
You can probably really tell that she's flustered and losing composure quite rapidly, considering she's repeating herself quite frequently. She's very clearly distraught by all of this, and I would be fucking too, as she was essentially thinking that all of this was just gonna be in the background now, as she's gonna focus on her streaming career back as Doki Bird, but nope. You're just gonna get pulled in by Nijisanji nonsense. It's like a plague. It's like a ball and chain.
I really want to keep everything private and really wanted to move on from here. But it was very unfortunate that all of this happened. So I will try my best to make up for you guys, and we will try to have another Neopet stream in the future. But for now, let us just make the Dragoon, I guess. I really do.
She did keep the mention of dragoons, because, you know, a dragoon is not something that, you know, Nijisanji can just outright copyright, because a dragoon is already a thing that exists. So calling her fans dragoons, which she should probably still do, is something that, you know, Nijisanji probably cannot take away from her.
Thank all of you guys. I really do thank all of you guys for being here and for believing in me and everything. I really do appreciate it, everybody. Despite everything that has happened, I was very sad to find out a personal document that was only shown between 3 different parties had to be leaked out, because it was a document I made for my lawyer, and it was a document that was not supposed to be shown anywhere else but to me and my lawyer, and to the lawyers on the other side, and we were promised it was not to be shown anywhere else. So the fact that and this was a document that was made that was supposed to help me figure out what was going on between me and my lawyer, and to see if things that were happening was actually happening. And then we showed it to the lawyers just to see if like they can figure out if what was going on was actually happening, and we were promised it was never going to be shown anywhere else. So the fact that this has happened.
You know what's sad and unfortunate about all of this is that Doki here is probably doing a much better job doing PR and kinda, you know, slightly defending, well, not really defending, but more like circumventing further damage to Nijisanji, because in the way she speaks, she really clearly tries to avoid saying specifics, whereas, you know, the previous video that you've seen with Elvira, Vox and Ike, they just outright said what they fucking did. Yeah, we read confidential documentation, and that also contained your diagnosis, and we probably shouldn't have done that, but we still did. And, you know, if only they had like a proper lawyer, if only Nijisanji didn't hire some kind of intern of the streets to handle all of this situation, and a PR person to boot as well, because the levels of incompetence run deep.
Really messes me up because I have said that I felt a very lack of trust for a while, and I'm just left speechless that my trust has been broken again regarding what I thought was kept private. So yeah, that's really it. And further statement regarding all of this, I will talk to my lawyer, and we will be releasing another statement about this later on. Oh, all right. Anyway, sorry. I'm just happy that I just got a friend that messaged me that was just saying that they're there for me with all this happening. So it was really reassuring to know that my friends are still there for me after all of this. And I'm just really happy that like they're still there and they're seeing what's happening and they know what's going on, and they're still there through there to support me.
He has a lot of support, and the more shenanigans Nijisanji gets into regarding all of this, the more support she's gonna get, because nobody is gonna be on the side of, you know, of the people that hired one of the most beloved Nijisanji EN talents. Like, there's no way to win that reputation war. It's been lost the moment Nijisanji terminated her as Selen. That was the end of it. That was checkmate.
Oh, anyway, I'm just gonna name. We're just gonna. It's really sad because I was really looking forward to Neopets. I was really looking forward to Neopets. I was ready to move on with everything. But yes, my lawyer is ready to talk to me now. My lawyer is ready to talk to me soon, so I'm gonna have to call it here, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry with everything. So, I'm sorry that I had to cut this short. I was really looking forward to moving on and rebuilding myself. So, it's very unfortunate. It really says a lot, though, that people would try to bring down others when people are ready to move on. It really says a lot. So I'm just gonna call it here. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that we couldn't really have a we couldn't really have this Neopet stream. I was really looking forward to it, and I guess I'll see you guys later, everybody. Bye, guys.
And yeah, that was that. But that wasn't the end of it. Let me get my music back on, because it's been a little bit too quiet now. There we go. It's back. Okay. And moving on. After these statements, by the way, so you get the timeline correctly, were made after the stream was concluded. And furthermore, Nijisanji decided to make an official statement following what their livers did on with the 15-minute video. So let's look out through the Nijisanji and official statement. Regarding concerns that have arisen in relation to the current situation, in the stream done earlier by our livers, a message from Nijisanji Yen, it was mentioned that parts of the information received from Selen and her lawyer was shared to them by Any Color Incorporated. As mentioned in that stream and in the notice published by Any Color Inc., notice termination of Selen Tasky's contract with Any Color, Selen and her lawyer claimed that the livers affiliated with Any Color Inc. were involved, and they will hold Any Color Inc. legally responsible. Selen and her lawyer mentioned the possibility that that they also hold livers affiliated to any color legally responsible. In order to check the validity of Selen and her lawyer's claim, Any Color Inc. shared only necessary parts of the information sent by her lawyer with our livers and led an internal investigation. To begin with, Any Color has not made any confidentiality evaluations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. However, regarding the specific information and documents which Selen's lawyer requested that we do not share with our livers, with utmost consideration the request of Any Color Inc. has not shared any such information. Well, how the fuck did Vox say that he read all of that? I mean, just go back to the video again and look and listen to his statement. In addition, our libraries are not held to any confidentiality obligation regarding their information shared to them from Any Color Inc. Thus, there are no legal issues regarding the information shared to the public in the stream made by our libraries. After rigorous legal check, Any Color Inc. hereby declares that it has not made any confidentiality evaluations while checking the validity claims were made by Sen and her lawyer with its affiliated libraries. So too long didn't read? Nijisanji has investigated itself and concluded that Nijisanji has not committed any confidentiality violations, even though, despite the statements that Selen, Doki Bird, and her lawyer have made to them, saying, do not fucking share this. But, you know, again, Nijisanji investigated itself and found that they did nothing wrong. And guess fucking what? Lies and deception gets community noted. Beforehand, the mark of brain damage on Twitter was having a blue check mark, but considering like everyone can have a blue check mark nowadays, the mark of serious brain damage is getting community noted on the platform. So this is what they got. The library in question, Selen, on her new account as Doki Bird, has confirmed that she was promised that the information would only be shown to lawyers if it was an HR complaint. Sharing this information without consent may be a violation of PIPEDA, as Doki Bird is Canadian. And if you want to get into the legalities of all of this, there is a lawyer streamer that has done a two-part, very long video about this, and even he claims, you know, that with all of the legal matters and issues concerning this, you know, shit show, the most valid thing that Selen, Doki Bird, and her lawyer could do was just let this whole thing pass and, you know, try to divorce themselves from these problems without, you know, litigation. Because there are no, essentially, there are no legal cases going on. There is no lawsuit as of yet regarding all of this. But the thing that, you know, Doki Bird would have some grounds to stand on is the confidentiality violation with PIPEDA. So if she wanted to follow up with some legal action, this would probably be the best avenue to start. But again, the lawyer in question, I forgot what his name was. He did like a total of like 13 hours about all of this. So if you're willing to watch that length, going into the legalities, all of this, please be sure to go and watch that. Because again, I'm not an expert on legalities, especially international law. But he himself has stated that if Selen decided to pursue, if Doki Bird decided to pursue anything, this would probably, legal mindset is what Chad is saying. That's the name of the channel. So you guys can go watch that if you haven't yet. So again, if there was any legal cases to be had, this is probably the best approach to take when it comes to taking Any Color to task on their actions. But moving on, after this, there have been some statements that other Nijisanji talents have also made, because you may be wondering, like, who actually retweeted all of this. Well, most of them did. Here's Renzoto. Last stream we were wondering what he was vague tweeting about, and now we kind of understand what he was vague tweeting about. As he quote retweets Elira's 15-minute video about this whole thing. Important. It would mean a lot of if you could take a listen. Thank you. Did you even write this tweet, friend? Yes, I did. Please stop assuming things. And they're right to assume things because Nijisanji, any color, is kind of known to skinwalk their talents, and when suspensions do happen, the talents are locked out of their accounts. So if any of them got suspended for any sort of reason and they still tweet, then you probably can infer from that it's someone else doing that for them. And then that was also stated by Zion, as she said that, you know, when you get suspended, you lose access to your social media, to your official Nijisanji social media. And moving on, there's Finana quoted tweeting the same thing. Thank you for being patient with us. It would mean a lot if you could come listen to this. Here's Edda. Hey everybody, we have something really important to talk about. Please give us your time if you can. Here's Sony. Very important. Please watch this if you have the time. Here's Hex Haywire. I fully support and stand behind my peers on this message. It's been so difficult and trying on all of us. I hope to have you there. Thank you for your love and patience. Here's Vermilion. Please come and listen if you can. And if you do, make sure to listen to everything. Here's Alban Knox. I'd be appreciated to watch if you're able. What? It would be appreciated to watch if you're able. Thank you. Kunai Nakasado. A couple of green hearts. And I'll be very honest with you, chat. I forgot some of these fucking Nijisanji talents actually exist. I stated this in my last stream, but I outright fucking forgot this person fucking existed. Nijisanji releases new waves of VTubers in like a machine gun fashion. Just spray them all out. So I fucking didn't understand. I fucking didn't remember that this person actually exists. Here's Fulgur. This is a difficult time for everybody. All I will ask is that you take your time to consider all the information. Do not attack anyone based on raw emotion. Everyone is dealing with a lot of tensions are high. Please treat all people with care and understanding. Unlike what they did to Selen, though. And then, you know, there's more. Because, of course, there's more. Regarding concerns that have arisen, again, this is the whole statement that I just read to you that community noted. And the important part here is that this is Doki Bird's. This is her manager, Exet. Commenting on this whole situation. Confidential is confidential. You cannot share this information with third parties without redacting it. Poor choice. Whoops. And moving on. There's also a further statement that Doki Bird made, but first we have to watch the Riku Tazumi video because that also came out around the same time after the Lira 15-minute video. So before we move on, we have to watch that too. Because in case you don't know, this particular Riku Tazumi dancing video was kind of edited from his latest appearance during that video. So let's quickly play that in full. This is addressing your concerns. Hold up. Okay.
Hello, I'm Riku Tazumi, CEO of Escalated Inc. I'm making this video to speak directly to you, the fans of Nijisanji EN, and everyone who supports the VTuber industry. First of all, I deeply apologize for causing concern to many people. Please allow me this time to address your concerns. First, let me apologize for a misunderstanding caused by the notice published on our investor relations page on February 7th. After announcing the termination of Seren's contract, we received questions from investors regarding the impact this would have on company performance. The notice was published to respond to investors. In the notice, we unfortunately used the expression negligible to describe performance impact. Our wording lacked consideration for the situation and caused Nijisanji EN fans and everyone who supports the VTuber industry to feel that Escalated Inc. undervalued the impact of Seren's contract termination or Seren herself. I deeply regret this outcome and will be rethinking how our communication in English is done. Without a doubt, Seren was integral to the growth of Nijisanji EN. As a company, it is truly unfortunate that our relationship ended the way it did. We regret that the notice we published on February 7th was worded this way. We made it sound like our company does not value the hard work of our rivals.
I mean, do they value their work considering how many of them they go through? Mind you, again, I did a whole Nijisanji drama tier list, and a lot of that stuff is their mismanagement related. A lot of that stuff is them outright not respecting their talents, just getting in their way every single time, hiring people that are problematic, that sink the company's reputation time and time again. And again, considering, the the pipeline of all of this, it just shows that this is like a mass, like a mass release sort of deal. Like the more people that they can have on board, the bigger chance that one of them will start making them like big dosh, like with, for example, Vox, and then Selen, who also has contributed quite a bit to their financial situation within the EN branch. So all of this just comes as an apology to investors, because if you remember that statement they did, they said that, the firing of Selen Tatsuki will have a negligible financial impact on them, and then their stocks dropped to the point where they lost hundreds of millions of dollars on this. So again, this is more of an apology to the people that actually hold their balls in iron grips more than to anybody else. That's just how it comes off to me, at least. But let's continue.
Deeply apologize. Next, I will address the feedback to our announcement, which led to the idea that Escalated Inc. may not be providing a safe environment where the rivals can maintain good mental health. We take full responsibility for this situation, where not only Escalated Inc. but also our rivals are receiving hurtful messages. I deeply apologize to our rivals and to everyone who supports them. Company actions have
What about Selen, though? What about Doki Bird? Who's gonna apologize to her?
led to the distress of our rivals, and we are taking this situation very seriously. Please understand that some rivals may choose to temporarily step back from social media.
Or, maybe he took their accounts away so they don't say stupid shit by accident or deliberately. That's also a possibility.
The management team continues to communicate with rivals to provide any and all support in every way they can. We will be implementing several new internal systems to ensure that the rivals can resume streaming activity.
Heavier balls with chains, that's one thing. Maybe they'll they'll implement some like electrocution measures that every single time a Nijisanji liver thinks bad thoughts about the company, they're just gonna get a little electric shock to the fucking brain. Maybe that would keep them in check for future endeavors.
While maintaining their well-being. Also, by establishing things such as better reporting systems, we aim to create an environment where we can better identify and resolve issues more quickly. Next, I would like to address the concern that has been raised by fans who have been supporting the VTuber community regarding whether Anycolor Inc. has been supporting Nijisanji EN enough. Regarding YouTube content, we did not have official programs available until fall last year. Other than content for the 3D event in July and the cancelled Nijisanji EN AR Live Colors in February last year, there has been a lack of 3D live content. However, in the meantime, we have spent the past year recruiting and working on strengthening the EN staff so we can better provide content for Nijisanji EN.
Just kind of doesn't feel like it, does it? Considering everything that has happened and the PR decisions they have made that led to these two videos being made by them, just kind of doesn't look like they hired the right people for it. And you'll kind of find out a bit later, like what kind of people they may be hiring based on some of their recent hiring practices.
Since last year, we have also started multiple new projects that are still in progress. In addition to supporting rivals on activities, we hope this will help improve our Nijisanji EN content offerings.
I mean, the only support that they ever provided, and support here is in huge quotation marks, is the support to tell their livers to stop doing certain things or just outright telling them no. Like, it seems like any single fucking suggestion that livers would make just kind of gets turned down, and the dumbest of shit actually gets approved. Do you remember that stream where the Nijisanji talents pretended to be fucking 4chan image board and decided to, you know, pretend to be them in order to shit on one another and other talents? That got approved somehow, and then they got in trouble for that when it actually was streamed. Like, what kind of decision was that? Well, I'll answer you. It was an incompetent one. They have no idea what they're doing. That this is what it seems like, and it's just, you know, strengthening their Nijisanji and staff is just nothing. Just hiring people without any measure of merit will never make this company any better.
One of them is the game event stream that was scheduled to be held on the 11th. However, considering the situation after recent events, this event is being delayed so that we can properly direct our full attention to reviewing and ensuring the quality of our livers' well-being.
I'll reiterate what he said right now. We're making sure that we don't yab more, because even we have enough self-awareness to understand that the PR war is lost, and that anything that we do from this point onward is just gonna fuck us in the ass. So we are making sure that nobody says anything stupid for the foreseeable future until the fire dies down and you guys can continue to support us monetarily as we reveal new merchandise that you can buy from us, because that's ultimately what it's all about. You giving us fucking money. Let's continue.
As a company, we intend to do everything in our ability to support Nijisanji Ian and meet the fans' expectations. Finally, I apologize for not just recent events, but also pre-existing areas that needed our attention. Our rivals are irreplaceable. Each and
That's why you replace them every few months, lately every few weeks. That's why they leave, because, you know, sinking ship. Unfortunately, the yacht is not the one sinking, but the company is. But you know, when you have a yacht that you can sail all around the fucking world, you just don't kind of end up not caring.
every one of them. Beyond being business partners, they are the most important individuals that we must protect as a company. To everyone who has and continues to support the rivals, I am very sorry that situations were allowed to arise where our dedication to their well-being was not clear. I feel that this should never be the case. Once more, personally and on behalf of our company, I apologize to you all for causing concern.
Except Selen, though.
As Enicara Inc., we will do everything we can to ensure that we create and maintain an environment where the rivals can succeed in their creative endeavors.
And that's it. But then Doki Bird came out with her own statement that she said that she's gonna present to people. And then she did. Let's get the music back up and then let's read this. Let's since you know, since Riku kinda had his time in the spotlight here, I think he should just go back to dancing, because unlike, you know, the statement that he made here, I think he's actually quite good at dancing compared to reassuring people how well they take care of their livers. But let's continue with Doki's statement here. I was ready to move on. I had made my last statement and I haven't looked at anything regarding my past for a full week. I didn't look at anything regarding legal documents or anything regarding my situations, so I moved back to Doki. I wanted to be hopeful for the future and never interact with that side again. So to see it all come back and reopen a wound that I was ready to heal from and have to talk to my lawyer again on how to respond. The document mentioned was at first made to document my thoughts and history with evidence so that my lawyer can see the general picture of what was going on, and if there were issues that should be addressed. It was first made during my darkest time mentally, and I wrote everything on my mind little by little at the time. I made the document thinking that it was never going to be public to anyone but to my lawyer. Although it was a document filled with my personal information as well privacy information that should not be public, there were no other addresses or specific locations mentioned. So, you know, someone here is lying. If you remember what the livers said during the Lira video, they outright stated that, you know, there were addresses there that could compromise them and lead to some doxing down the line. So one of these things has to be true. Either they are lying or Doki Bird is lying. I don't think there's a middle ground here. That there is no gray area with things being there or not there. So one of these people is not saying the truth. Were there addresses there or weren't there? But let's continue reading. Regarding a recording, this was not intended to be anything other than a distribution test for planning of a collaborative event between two people, which happened to be left over from one test recording, and I never recorded any other conversations with anyone. This is regarding the sinister sounding recording that Vox mentioned of himself. The recording was never shown anywhere, even in a legal setting, and there are no other records. However, I regret that it was mentioned, and I'm sorry to all parties affected for the misunderstanding in this. And this poses another question. If this was never mentioned in any particular context, how did Vox learn of this? I wonder. And continues. I requested that I just wanted to move on. Sometimes I didn't hear anything for days from lawyers on the other side and felt like it'd be alone and isolated for a long time. It made it so hard for me mentally. On February 5th, my lawyer discussed and said it would be the best to show the document I wrote to the other lawyers, as we have not heard from them for a week, or any negotiation talks or given a meeting discussed after my request to part. It was never intended to be used for anything else. I've asked my lawyer to convey that and have a communication that the document that it was written wasn't going to be released anywhere, and my lawyer did so when sending the document. Less than 2 hours after my lawyer sent the document, the termination notice came out. I was very shocked, but thought that was the last time I'll hear or think about the document, and that this, personally and my own opinion, was the end of the lawyers and legal involvement. So you see here, even the proceedings as Selen, as Doki Bird was trying to leave the company on amicable terms, they still, incompetently decided to, keep her waiting for a fucking week because, when someone, a big hitter like Selen, wants to leave, it's better to put her on fucking wait and then, keep her in the dark until the point where they release a termination notice without her actually knowing before it was released. So, again, competency 101. All of the communication was done between lawyers in Japanese. Things are not black and white, and everything gets more complicated and muddled when lawyers are involved in a different country. When things are conveyed to multiple parties through different degrees of communication, everything turns into different narratives and different translations. I thought it was over, and I've accepted what happened and was ready to move on. Everything I posted to the public about the situation was a response. If it was a month ago, it would have been different, as I was angry, but I was also very alone in my head. But it's not a month ago, and I've accepted it. I wanted to be neutral and private, but now the whole world is involved and the public is watching every step that happens. And whose fault is this? This is all Nijisanji's fault because of the statements they continue to make. Fantastic. I am not perfect and I have faults. I have to watch my dad cry and break down in front of me the first time in my life last night. Despite everything that has happened, please show kindness to all parties involved. There are real people behind the monitors. One of the reasons why I wanted to be the private is that the internet can be a cruel place, and I knew this would happen the moment this type of notice drops. What I didn't reveal to anyone, and only my parents and the therapist knew, was that it was not one attempt but two, which happened a few weeks after the first. My parents found me in time after searching for me for hours before anything happened. I was in a really dark place and I did not wish this to anyone. No one should go through what I went through. I reveal this now not for pity, but to state that no life, no matter what, should be risked for ego or winning anything. There are no winners in this. Please don't make it hit high school. Treat everyone like adults and with some empathy and kindness. For those who wish to see recipes or documents or anything else, hoping I would reveal them, I'm sorry, but those are the things that should be private and, if needed, between lawyers. Revealing private documents and talking about the details within will only just make things worse, more complicated, as outside parties get involved and will just hurt everyone. No one deserves to be pushed over the edge. So many people have got hurt and involved, even if they were innocent bystanders. In the end, I will always be here to respond, and that is the only thing I will do in public. I hope this will be the last statement I have to make. And for now, this was pretty much everything from Doki, as this statement was also translated into Japanese because, you know, the whole world was looking, and the Japanese side of Nijisanji is, of course, huge. It's bigger than the yen, so this statement was also translated into Japanese. But these are the general things that have happened within the escalation part of all of this. It's pretty brief, I have to say, but everything that has followed this since has been quite fantastic. And now we're gonna take a look at some of the few top reactions to what has been happening regarding this escalation. And first, we're gonna take a look at what happened with Elira's video here. It's Elira's most watched video content ever, sitting at 1.1 million at the moment I took this screenshot. Might be more at this point, but if you see the like to dislike ratio, it's quite significant on the part of the dislikes. 141k, pretty significant, I have to say. So people did not like this. Overwhelming dislike, you can even say. And guess what else they did with this video? Well, they didn't log the comments, and some of the top comments to this is they didn't log the comments. Yes, I'm baffled too that they didn't log the comments and let thousands upon thousands of people shit on them. I don't know if this was some sort of way to appease people, you know, showing that they're open to criticism or anything else, or maybe it's just, you know, another part of them lacking any sort of sense and competence. Who knows? But here are some of the top comments from Elira's video. If you're homeless, just buy a house. If you're bullied, just leave. Same energy, by the way. Might as well take it one step further and do a ukulele apology for the memes. Vox himself saying there is no favoritism is the funniest shit ever. Support the livers, not the company. The livers in question. In my opinion, I do not think it was a form of harassment. Well, since you exonerated yourself, I guess you're in the clear then. Especially since you proceeded that with a statement on how your actions were reasonable given your level of anxiety. So which is it? Were you awful because you were stressed out, or did you do nothing wrong in the first place? Feel free to consult the legal documents that only Selen, her lawyers, any color, and the lawyers should have seen before construing another response, I suppose. Scathing, I have to say. You can always leave the Nijisanji. Yeah, no shit, Vox Holmes. You can also close comment in the reply section if you don't want to get harassment, right? This one is very elaborate. I like this one. My grandfather smoked his whole life. It was about 10 years old when my mother said to him, if you ever want to see your grandchildren graduate, like a lot of Nijisanji talents do, you need to stop immediately. Tears welled up in his eyes when he realized exactly what was at stake. He quit that very day. 3 years later, my grandfather died of lung cancer. We were very close and his death destroyed me. My mother said to me, please never smoke. Don't put your family through what your grandfather put us through. I agreed. All these years later, I have never touched a cigarette. I must say, I feel a very slight sense of regret for never having done it because of your video was so shitty it gave me cancer anyway. That's a very good story. I liked it, especially the ending. So, Nijisanji, She gives you fucking cancer. With a friend like Vox, who needs enemies? At the point, Doki Bird is doing better job at protecting the company reputation than these guys. Yes, I completely fucking agree. Everything Doki has done so far is to try to de-escalate everything that Nijisanji and any color has escalated. Like everything is all on them. They should hire her back in order for her to do PR for them, because she has done a much better job at it than they ever could. If management told you this was going to go well, you've been set the fuck up. All of us do not condone harassment of any kind to any of the parties involved. Proceeds to strategically send this live the exact time Doki Bird has her stream scheduled with the intent to intercept it. After thinking about this, I realized how scummy a move this is. I've had to choose between being fired and supporting my unimaginable corrupt employer. I would walk. There comes a time when even an individual has to stand up for their morals and beliefs. Boycott Nijisanji, everyone. No subs, no members, no supers. Numbers are the only thing that can make a change, since that's all Niji cares about. And I completely agree with this statement, because at one point I think having principles is a lot more important than fucking getting the bag. And I will have to come up with a personal anecdote from my life here, to provide some variety to this stream. Again, I used to be a translator, and I had this client that wanted me to translate. This is not under any NDA, and I know this might break some ethics here as I talk about this person, but I kind of don't care because this person was a scumbag. But they wanted me to translate like a live communication between a woman who was married and him who decided to kind of take her away from her husband, so to speak. And he wanted me to be the in-between translator between these two people. So essentially, what I would end up doing was helping the fucking woman cheat. The moment I realized what this fucker was doing with this woman and what this woman was doing, I fucking bailed on that. The money for translating this was pretty fucking good, but again, on the prospect of principles, I would not be able to live with myself if I continued to do this and take money for it. So nope, I fucking bailed on that sort of thing. So again, supporting something that's shitty in order to get money is not something I would ever want to do. And either the talents remaining at Nijisanji and believe that are just completely innocent, and Nijisanji is good, is not a shitty company at all that treats their livers and other people like crap, or they just want to get fucking money. So again, for me, principles are more important than any kind of money you could make out of this. But we have more reactions to go through. These are some of the top reactions from the Elira video. Now let's take a look at reactions from the Riku video, because there were a few cool ones here as well. This one also got a nice ratio of likes to dislikes, with almost 600k views, with 15k likes and 74k dislikes. And I have to point out that the likes on this video at first were overwhelmingly positive, like the first an hour or so, which I have to question. Is this YouTube tallying up these likes and dislikes the wrong way? Because that you cannot normally see dislikes anymore. You need a special plugin for that. So I kind of question that. Are the dislikes kind of counted differently nowadays because they're invisible, and and the plugin kind of has a problem with telling in the map at the end, or is Nijisanji fucking botting their likes with fucking bots? Who the fuck knows? But let's take a look at some of the comments, because again, no locked comments section. It's like he was drunk driving, hit a pedestrian, and is now apologizing to the witnesses, the bystanders, the lawyers, everyone except the pedestrian. So true. I give you the same amount of respect you gave to Scarlet. Fucking 0. Alira and Vox destroyed their own reps for this. Let that sink in. Please understand that some of the lawyers may choose to temporarily step back from the social media, alright? But how are we supposed to know if they're just taking a break or if they're locked out or if someone else is speaking for them? Man. And that 15 minutes black screen creeped me the hell out. Our lives are irreplaceable. That didn't apply to Selen, did it? Especially when she was negligible. Damn, that 15% stock decrease sounds funnier by the second. I didn't know Arasaka from Cyberpunk 2077 actually existed in real life. I have to tell you, Arasaka is the much cooler company. And they actually got nuked once. Almost twice at that. At this point, Nijisanji and Color is setting off their own fucking bombs inside their own company. They won't need any assistance from any rebels. No Keanu Reeves will come in and blow up the Any Color tower. If the stocks didn't go down terribly, you wouldn't have done this video. And I kind of agree with that, considering, you know, when Zion was fired, when the public opinion, because of, you know, evil Zion gaslit her former friends, she made a rape joke about a fictional character, and then she said she likes little fictional boys. Then she's a terrible fucking person. Let's not forget that we will also try to make her anti-Semitic. Our reputation, Nijisanji reputation, all good. They fired the most evil person imaginable. So no statement needed, because no stocks affected. The impact of this video on the audience will be negligible. Addressing your concerns doesn't address my concerns. Truly a Nijisanji moment. Let me correct it for you guys. The title should be addressing your parentheses investors' concerns. There you go. We made it sound like a company does not value the hard work of our livers. Someone spent 200k out of pocket for Niji events last year and only went even. You don't. How to apologize without apologizing? Well, one from Nijisanji. Literally apologize to everyone, but the one person that actually deserves an apology. Sorry, investors, for causing confusion. Sorry, other livers, for causing you to get hate as well, because we can't actually handle the situation. And sorry, fans, for not making more content. But please, still give us your money. Our stocks went down. They say they care about their talent and they are irreplaceable after firing Selen and heartlessly trying and failing to throw her under the bus. They might as well say that they wish she had succeeded with her attempt on her life, with how little they care. If they did, they'd give her a proper apology and acknowledge that they fucked up to start with. But we all know they won't. Hope the company continues to crumble. And lastly, gets called Black Company by people upset with what happened to Selen. Makes a video with a lot of black on the background. First concern is about investors. Reads teleprompter emotionlessly. Cuts video every 30 to 40 seconds. It's like watching somebody trying to put out a fire by using gasoline and not water or a fire extinguisher. Very effective, lol. But you know, it wouldn't be a reaction sort of stream if we didn't have reactions from Twitter, because of course they had to be reactions from Twitter regarding all of this. Remember that Nijisanji official tweet? Well, here's what people had to say about that while Quarter's reading it. No caption needed. Guy digging his own grave. Here's one that's kind of unhinged. I do like this artist, but he really went, or she went overboard with this one. Alright, that was the dumbest fucking shit I ever seen in my life. Time to draw Niji horrors like the company managers camp dumpsters like they are. Mind you, this is something I cannot show you on stream. Shuko here has drawn when Vox made one particular statement on Twitter regarding this. Shuko drew him kind of sucking his own dick, like deep throating himself. It's a very funny tweet. I hope you can find it. But he went kind of overboard with that because in his anger, or in her anger, I don't know, they decided to actually those particular livers on Twitter, which, you know, is a form of harassment, unfortunately. But, you know, he was angry, and he or she used their artistic talents in order to get justice. But yeah, I don't know if these art tweets are still up. If they are, you can probably go and look them up on this account. I know probably Niji sisters were very upset about this. I usually don't comment on situations like this, but this has gone past the point of absurdity. It's time to stop. Very self-explanatory. And here's Hirohei also quoted reading this. This Nijisanji damage control went so terribly that even members for 2+ years are no longer supporting Niji. I can't stand with this company anymore. Goodbye, y'all. Member for 29 months. Another member for 29 months. Thankfully, this is my the last one of these wish you all the worst. And here's my favorite Chumbud. Of course, he also had to comment on this. It wouldn't be a stream without Donnie Darko and his insightful commentary. Nijisanji explained that Elira, Ike, and Vox stream mentions of Selen/Doki document sharing is not illegal. Man, you keep messing up your PR. You should have used your livers to act as PR staffs. You tried to use their fan bases to sway public opinion. Didn't you? Sigh. Here's Aster from the infamous supposed alleged leak, as he was sighing at Scarlet, demanding attention. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I have this all in my last stream. Moving on. I have declared myself not to be legally liable for anything. I repeat this one. Don't trust Nijisanji. Don't support Nijisanji. Don't apply to Nijisanji. They don't care for someone who spilled blood, sweat, and tears for them. So you shouldn't care for Nijisanji either. Black company. Anycolor Inc. shared only necessary parts of the information sent by her lawyer with our livers and led an internal investigation. Anycolor Inc. has not made any confidentiality violations regarding submitted documents for legal claims such as these. You can't make this shit up. And here's actually Snuffy, popular indie VTuber, commenting under Elira's post with the video. This is really disappointing and even a bit dark-sided that the company and its current talents aren't above parting ways privately, but we gotta watch the entire Facebook breakup drama seriously. Damage control is minding your own business at this point. You leaked sealed documents, Nijisanji. Nuh-uh. Elira's chatroom, first minute versus 10 minutes later on. All these Elira heart emojis. And then L, respectful guys, L, Mangek, prove it? Prove Doko? How the tables have turned. Did you know that in 2001, Isao Inokuma committed honorable seppuku after causing disgrace to the company of which he was CEO? I couldn't find a cool picture of him online, so here's a picture of some random Japanese CEO I found. It's a very elaborate way of telling someone to end themselves. Selen is my idol by Riku Tazumi. And then I had to make a separate section for this. Reactions to Vox's post. Because, you know, Vox being a central figure in that video also takes precedence. Thank you for your patience. The situation has been incredibly hard on all of us. We're going to share as much as we can in this stream, so please come and watch if you can. Guess what kind of responses he got? Hold on. So sad that you stood for this and then threw Selen under the bus. I admired you once. Here's him, you know, a charity stream for suicide prevention and awareness. He didn't have that kind of consideration for Selen, though. What happened? Did they offer to raise your merge share to 3%? Vox, I'm gonna be so real with you, man. This is the worst damage control I've ever seen. I'm beyond disappointed with you and in the other two on that stream. Vox, I genuinely think you're a good guy, but that stream had me lost and confused. I don't understand you at all. Vox, you were my inspiration, and of course, as an fan, I don't know actually what happened behind the scenes, but the fact you thought this was a good idea makes me not want to support you anymore. Thank you for the good times and best of luck, a kindred. Mind you, these are some of the more reasonable kindreds. If you wanted dick sucking, here's dick sucking. These are the lack of critical thinking fans that Vox also has. Thank you for letting us know what happened. You are brave to share this unpleasant experience. Please rest well. Take care of yourself. Take your time as you need. We'll support you always and be to you forever. Love you. Please take care of yourself and keep you safe. If anything goes wrong, please seek help. I'll be there for you and always with you. It breaks my heart to hear what you have been through, my lord. Judging from chat, it's likely there's going to be attacks following the talk. Please look after yourself and stay safe. Kindred always support you and are waiting for you. Thank you so much for your messages, Elita. Milord, Ike. We are fully aware that this is a very difficult time, but please take care of your mind and body. There's not much you can do, but I love your guys unwaveringly. There are many hearts that are with you guys. Thank you and everyone for doing this, but also I'm so sorry that any statement has to be made to begin with. There's not nearly enough hugs in the world to give every single one of you. See you there. Not going to be able to be there, but I will be tuned in whenever I can. Thanks for letting us know. Please take care of yourself. I'll always be here to support you and believe in you. Don't worry. Sorry for any hate you'll get for this. Take as long as you need. We love you, Vox, and we know that it's not your fault. Take care of yourself. Love you, dude. Thanks for standing out to speak for Ian Livers. It's too terrible for you guys, and the internet is suck as usual. I always know. I do hope everything goes well. Hope you can recover from these things. Things are hard, but we don't want to hurt you and your friends. Hug you. Love you, my lord. Take all the time you need. We kindred will always be here for you. It's like they're made in a fucking factory, these people. What you said breaks my heart. Please, my lord, take care of your choices, and willing are always respected. Please stay safe. Love you. In case you can't tell, a lot of these people are Chinese because the English is very iffy, very not well put together. And I covered Chinese kindreds before, as there was this one particular drama where they decided to go after Reimu because she interrupted their intimate time with Vox. I have a video about that too. And these people are fucking insane. These messages might be very nice and, you know, wholesome and what have you, but they are off the kilter insane. A lot of them are. Thanks for your brave and willing to let us know what happened to you and what happened to all of you. I know it's a tough time for for us. It's time for you. Yeah, sure. Please take care of you. Stay safe. Spend time as you need. And if anything goes worse, remember seeking for help. I'm always your kindred, and I'll always be here to support you. And that's a few tweets. There's just so many more, because that's how a lot of Vox's fans just are. But lastly, when we come to the reactions of the escalation, there's I know that's it when it comes to the reactions to this thing. Then we move on to the next one, to the big mystery. Again, the mystery Scooby-Doo couldn't solve, but it solved itself eventually. The big, I called this one the big Scarlet caper. Because Scarlet, among all of the EN livers, has come out kind of, well on this one. Like, better than most, I would say so. Well, you may be asking why. Why did this happen? Why is Scarlet exempt from a lot of the hate here? Well, because of this particular thing. Oh shit, it's so big. Yeah, there we go. This is a YouTube comment that Scarlet liked. Kurosanji. Like a black company, Nijisanji, but Kurosanji, Black Sanji, and here's Scarlet's like on this particular comment, and here's one more in case you didn't believe it's real. Haha, she liked it. What the fuck, Scarlet is based lady. I kneel, Scarlet, and then Scarlet just kind of disappeared. She was supposed to have a member stream, which never happened, and then she was supposed to have a normal public stream, which also suffered the same fate. And then, weirdly enough, on his PL account, Fulgur decided to tell everyone where Scarlet actually is. Just letting people know, #where's Scarlet, because, they got really concerned considering that it's been hours and she just kind of went missing. I just got off a call with her. She's staying with a Mamaguni and will be away from the internet for a little while. She's not in any form of trouble, and I'm posting this here for the Scarlings to hear it from me. She will be back soon, and here's his Discord call. And here's Scarlet talking about it. Thank you so much, Ku. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. And you have more to say. I've been friends with Scarlet for years before she joined Nijisanji, and will always have her back. She's the only way now for her own mental health, and not any other reason. Just know that she is safe and will be in contact with her whenever she needs me. And then she actually finally made an announcement, but only to her members, which is also weird. Hi everyone, I'm so sorry to worry everyone. I promise I'm okay and everything is fine. I'm sorry I didn't close the waiting rooms. I'm terribly sorry for not notifying about not streaming. I'm not home right now, and I will be staying at Mamaguni's, and I'll talk to a good friend today, but I promise to close the waiting rooms when I get back home. Applying to do a membership stream tomorrow. I'm so sorry again for warning everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. And then Fulgur continued on his PL account. Let me clarify some things before I return to hiatus. I'm only posting here because I care about Scarlet and know the Scarlings want to know if she was okay. She needs some time away, and I'm elevating some of her concerns so she can get that time. When I say she is not in any trouble, I mean that she's healthy, and also that she's also free to return to streaming and posting whenever she wants to. But as her friend, I have advised her to take it all the time she needs to feel better mentally before she returns. By posting from here, I would clear any suspicion of anyone else interfering with my words. I ask you to please not speculate anything more and simply spend all time in love, well, wishes in Scarlet's way until she can be with you all again. Good night. Thanks for Scarlet. And then he finally posted this on his own fucking official account. Do you understand how this comes off? He says here that this was done on his PL to show people that, you know, he's not being puppeted. Well, he's probably a good friend to Scarlet. That's what I understand from, you know, his statements enough. But how did he not think that this would cause more suspicion going towards their way? Like, Scarlet is not in any trouble, guys. She just cannot tell you all of that herself. She'll only post it later on, much later on, to her members only. Not on her own account, mind you, because Scarlet has not retweeted also any of the Nijisanji announcement regarding, you know, that 15-minute video that Elira and crew made. So she comes off kind of based for this, you could say. But, no, this is just a whole nother problem. This just makes it look like they cannot post on their own accounts, even though Fulgur later did do that. But this looks like Scarlet cannot do it. Like, they're making sure that it looks as suspicious as possible by making statements like this. It's all very, very bizarre, and you might just end up thinking that they're getting talks behind the scenes, but who knows? You know, Nijisanji, am I right? But yeah, this was a very small arc. This was the mystery of where in the world is Scarlet Yonaguni, and we learned where she is. Is Scarlet based? Mind you, that tweet, that comment that she liked on YouTube, it has now been unliked. Who knows? She might have liked this by accident, but then again, it was left up for a few hours. So who knows if she was making a statement against her own company by agreeing with the Kuro Sanji poster, or maybe it was just an accident. We'll probably never know. Who knows? But moving on, we have other things to read. Very interesting things, because we get to the part, excuse me, where we read the Gurat, and you'll see what the Gurat is in a moment. Well, to give you a TLDR of what the Gurat is, the Gurat is a combination of, you can call it the Rat King rather. It's a combination of rumors and speculations coined on 4chan's virtual YouTuber board about the current situation within Nijisanji, and what actually led Nijisanji to do all of these very nonsensical, at least to the outside world, moves. This rat is trying to unify all of the rats and try to explain away the situation. So mind you, do not take anything that's posted here seriously. There might be some nuggets of truth in it, accidental or otherwise, but do remember that these are rats. These are biggest rats regarding Nijisanji. And this particular document doesn't exist publicly anymore, but it exists in private. But this is pretty much the version of it that I got from the Wayback Machine before it got deleted by the author of this whole thing. So let's read through all of this piece by piece, starting with the ominous "Don't harass people outside of VT. Only harass people on VT." What is the Grand Unified Rat? The God Rat? The Gurat is a rat that strives to explain all of the baffling news coming out of Niji Yen for the past year. The true beauty of the Guret, however, is the simplicity and elegance. It's able to tie together most of the verifiable information we know from several separate instances, and crucially, do so without any point in invoking shadowy unknown management characters, pulling the strings, or assuming the unbelievable stupidity, cartoonish Machiavellian malice, or irrational behavior without obvious motivations that other rats require. The call of the rat is as follows. Niji launches in May 2021 with their first wave, Lazulite. At this time, it's a small branch without dedicated staff. However, we know that this time members of the recently disbanded Niji India branch, specifically ex-Liver Noor, were being used as an Ian management. However, quickly the Ian branch outgrew its small staff. Obsidia, Iridium, Luxium, and Noctix debuted within less than a year. JP management couldn't speak English, and there weren't enough English-speaking staff to manage all the new talents as the popularity of the bench exploded. To make matters worse, in early 2022, half of the Ian managers and staff left, found, and subsequently bankrupt a failed NFT company. Some of the XEIN talents were promoted further upward. Allegedly, talents were at this point effectively self-governing, avoiding involving the ineffective upper management whenever possible. You know why this is plausible? Because this is essentially what happened to Nijisanji KR, the Korean branch. KR managed itself internally. That's all true. KR is its own downfall, as it was mismanaged internally by the people that they hired for themselves there. That were already part of the hired, you could call it VTuber clique out of Korea. So again, plausible. A lot of these things in the Guret are gonna be very very convincing, to say the least. By the time Iluna debuted in July 2022, official management had become almost vestigial, with a single 2-week-old hire as the manager for the entire branch. Source: One Girl's Story, Sayu. The original source of the leak indicated that this happened in 2020. Also, throughout this time, bilingual talents were being used as translators and go-betweens for English-speaking Yen talents to communicate with Japanese-speaking management. Source: Sayu's interview with Folsai on the 5th of February. As the number of English-speaking staff decreased and the number of livers exploded, these liaisons started to become more and more important to the operations of the branch, with the Ian having to go through them to communicate with JP upper management. Chief among these was a Dai Senpai, Elira Pandora, bilingual, who already had other friends Nippo hired to the company. As time goes on, to cut out the middleman of needing to constantly send things back and forth between the glacially slow JP managers via translation, more and more managerial duties are effectively delegated to the liaison's talents themselves, with Elira then sub-delegating the other trusted talents, her friends. Eventually, there is effectively a shadow bureaucracy of manager talents, headed by Elira, in charge of organizing projects, getting permissions, translating, commissioning contractors, etc. As a result, a natural favoritism system is established, creating a toxic work environment where talents who are on good terms with Elira and the shadow management are able to get their projects fast-tracked, and those who aren't able to be stonewalled and mired in bureaucracy unless they can speak Japanese to communicate directly with upper management. By the start of 2023, the year of the near constant Niji Ian Yabs, the insane are effectively running the asylum. So where does Selen come in? Selen was ambitious. She had near constant projects and always needed to follow up with management on some commission or idea or video. She was, by all accounts, at least a little bit difficult to work with and not suited to a Japanese workplace environment or tolerant of bureaucracy. She was the most successful female talent. She was Elira's lore sister, but seemingly they didn't personally get along. She didn't participate in the secret GC stream, she can't speak Japanese and thus had to rely on the shadow management liaisons as the go-between for her numerous highly involved projects. She openly criticized management and went behind their backs to get things done. It was probably a pain in their collective assets while also being more successful than them in her streaming career. Throughout that time, Selen felt stifled by management and correctly recognized obvious favoritism where others would quickly get approval for things she couldn't, or be offered sponsorship she was cut out of despite being the biggest female liver. She tried to work with them but constantly was stonewalled with red tape and felt singled out for special harassment. Her projects were often axed or mired in bureaucracy and delayed for no clear reason. As a result, she started going out herself to get own permissions, sponsors, and commissions, which bothered the clique even more and caused them to turn down and sabotage self-organized projects for not getting prior approval through them. Public hints of the same from Selen tweets. Things came to a head with the last Cup of Coffee music video, which was important to her and had been in the works for a long time. With her having to directly go chase down permissions because management wouldn't do it. When she was given the runaround once again, it was the last straw and she went rogue. This culminates in her multiple attempts on her life, termination, and reincarnation as Doki Bird. Why should I believe the Gurat? Simply put, the Gurat explains and ties together most of the otherwise inexplicable actions of Nijisanji management. While originally intended to explain Iria's black screen stream, Anons discovered that it fits together numerous pieces of otherwise confusing information. Starting with the black screen stream, this gives plausible motivations for Iria's actions, unlike other rats, which require a cabal of 40 IQ managers holding a gun to her head to release a disastrous statement undercutting their own CEO, or Iria to be such an evil, petty psychopath that she willingly self-destructed for no discernible reason other than sheer spite. This rat gives multiple plausible, understandable motivations. She was afraid of the contents of Doki's document, which show a history of gross managerial misconduct, and was attempting to preemptively discredit it and damage control. Caught between the public and JP management and trying to cover her own ass rather than the company's reputation. She was frustrated and defensive because it was her and her friends personally, not some random Japanese middle manager who she believes Doki disrespected. She volunteered her channel because as a leader she should take the bullet for her own mistakes. JP management told her to clean up her mess, etc. It also explains how she and Vox got a hold of supposedly confidential documents. As effective management, they will have been privy to it, maybe even used it to translate it. It explains why her, Ina, Mil, and Millie's names were specifically listed in that document. They were the most responsible for the managerial bullying. It explains the obviously spiteful timing of the announcement and the tone of the content therein, which were extremely unprofessional and would not have been something a random PR manager with no skin in the game would endorse. It explains as well as she got a hold of these screenshots without running her insane plan through actual adult managers. It explains why other talents are so ass-blasted about Selen giving the middle managers trouble in the first place. Let me take a sip. Again, hydration is a problem. It explains why there is such an obvious night and day difference between Alira's black screen video statement and Riku's statement, which by its tone went through an actual PR auditing. The clashing of contents between both statements signals that Alira's and Riku's videos are not planned by the same management team with similar goals. It explained how they were able to bully Selen in the first place. To bully someone, you need power over them. It also explains some of the oddities around the original termination statement, in particular the bizarre wording of the following statement. Selen claimed that she was being harassed by other affiliated livers due to mismanagement. It was the first instance of anyone mentioning bullying bullying by livers. Previously, it had been seemed that Sullen's issues were primarily with management. The statement at face value also makes it a little sense, and how can the livers bully her due to mismanagement? If the livers and the management are effectively one and the same, this all makes more sense. It also explains why they would even bring up the other livers. It explains the clear, vindicative, and unprofessional nature of the termination letter in general, as again, it feels almost personal. It explains the rationale behind Millie's infamous tweet. Other rats require Millie to be the dumbest person alive or a sociopathic cartoonish bully, publicly taunting Sullen for no reason whatsoever. Through the lens of the ghoul rat, though, it makes a lot more sense. She is responding out of frustration for Sullen, ignoring management, trying to defend management because management is her and her friends. Millie may even be a liaison replying to Sullen in those screenshots released by Elira, which would make even more sense. See the curiosity section below. One of the biggest strengths of the rat is that it doesn't require projecting to ascribe motivations to anyone. Any jaw-dropping stupidity or any 4D chess, Elira could be a stone-cold bitch queen, but she could also be simply incompetent and casually nepotistic, or even a genuinely hard-working leader who thinks she's doing the right thing for her branch, and it doesn't change the rat. Sullen could be a total menhera and completely innocent, and the rat works all the same. You don't need to know the reason Elira dislikes Sullen. It could be because she is hard to work with or pure jealousy, but the rat still works. Further evidence. Elira was overrepresented in official promotions, non-group, less light merchandise release compared to the more popular promo. Here's some examples of those. How does this fit with the other rats? The Luca skin-walking shit show and Scarlet Aster drama. This explains partially the Scarlet Aster screenshots being in the possession of Luca and then Regiel knowing about Aster harassing other livers. If this effective self-governing system was in place, it explains why Scarlet would go to Luca with her problems instead of an actual manager, because by this point, issues are now being handled internally by other talents. Luca then screenshots it, sent to Regiel, and asks for advice, and she leaks it with the rest of her Luca manifesto. The Zion execution. We know that at the time of the Zion termination, the self-management system was in place, and her termination shares many similarities with the Sullen debacle. In Sayo's One Girl's Story document, she knows that one of the things she was in trouble for was going above management's head to talk to a higher manager directly, which initially makes zero sense, but when you consider the Gurat, it starts to make sense. Sayo is Japanese and is a fluent Japanese speaker. She will be able to jump over the shadow bureaucracy and talk directly with the GP managers. This obviously ruffled feathers. Another interesting detail is that apparently Ailuna's branch manager was a 2-week-old hire who was effectively puppeted by someone higher up. She says, anytime I had a call with our manager to discuss something, their manager was also there. It was pretty much just me asking him stuff while she sat there and nodded her head. A bizarre situation. Zion's termination letter, taken at face value, reads as hypocritical litany of perpetrated abuses that other prominent members would also be guilty of if the same standard applied to everyone in Nijisanji En. At first, it seemed like Niji's management was trying to level every possible accusation against her, justify removing her from the organization. But in light of the rat, her termination letter may also be interpreted as an attempt to poison the well, smearing and discrediting her before she could come to the public with incriminating information of Niji En and the practice of its de facto management. Expand more on Zion. Hugo, I don't know, write something. Again, the Gurat is not very complete. There's a lot of things that were missing within it before it got put out of its misery, at least publicly. I don't know if the Gurat is still being updated, but considering it's it's a fortune project, it's very likely that it might be. So it is what it is. But let's continue. Curiosities. Here are some more interesting coincidences and rats anons have discovered. They are mostly unproven and are more speculative nature than the main rat, but nonetheless some interesting content, important to note. However, that you do not need to believe all or any of the below rats or the main rat to work. It stands on its own. These are merely additional bits of information to consider. Millie was the manager in the screenshots leaked by Vox, as Anon believes that the person checking Selen's last cup of coffee video was in fact a talent liaison rather than a manager, and specifically that it may be Millie, most likely now debunked. Like the rat post of this, as well as the schizo forensics, please, and expand on the explanation. The Selen Discord leaks, link and expand, explain the origin of them and their eventual vindication as likely real. The Canadian manager job posting, please link. The above job listing was posted by Nijisanji and noticed during the initial Selen termination controversy. Viewed through the lens of the Gurat, it has some interesting implications. Elira, as we know, just moved to Japan, and connecting these facts gives us a few options. The job posting is being backfilled as Elira is being officially promoted to a higher position. Elira has been sacked / told to stay in her lane by management following the Selen debacle, as it's being replaced by an official manager. JP has taken notice of the mess happening in EN and is cleaning house and cracking down. The job posting is intended as a golden parachute for a talent manager to step back from streaming and become an official staff member. LK, this would have been on Luka Kanashiro's involvement. An anonymous vent post presumed to be Millie. A vent post on a sisters forum caught on an Anon's attention for its use of the phrase "management has stated the video could still be unprivated." At the time, this had never been publicly stated, but it was revealed that it had been stated in the Vox Slack message leaks during the Black Screen stream. Anon speculated that this post may have been written by Millie. Another post was suspected by an Anon to be Millie due to an unique usage of the Manesan, as well as having been posted in the time between the internal Slack message asking about the song's early release and Selen's tweet about the song cover. Just looking to a lot of sources there. Timeline. December 26th, Selen posts the MV is suspended on the spot. Source Black Screen stream, Vox screenshots. December, possibly 26th or 27th. Selen makes an attempt on her life. December 27th, Elira makes the health issues in my family tweet. December 28th, throughout to February 4th. Selen and her lawyer go back and forth with Niji JP management trying to find a way to part amicably, but it goes nowhere. February 5th, Elira lands in Japan. February 5th, 18 GST. Selen's lawyer sends her document to Niji's lawyers detailing everything that was happening to her in the company, including bullying and preferential treatment. February 5th, 1956 GST. Termination notice goes up. From the point on, all communication between Nijisanji and Selen now Doki ceases. February, possibly 5th. Elira is notified of the content of the document when whatever is inside the document scares her. Specifically, she is worried about her Millie and Anna being dogs and their safety being threatened. Elira later gets Vox and Ike together to record their statement for the stream. February 6th. Absolute fucking chaos. By the end, Doki just wants to move on and be done with the whole situation so she can focus on streaming. February 12th, Elira drops a stream attempting to throw Doki under the bus. Hours later, Riku prostrates himself before the masses and vows to sort out whatever the fuck is happening in Niji. If you had an event, include the source if possible. There's supplemental information to all of this. And even more, linking to 4chan archival threads. And you might be wondering what happened to the Gurat. Well, this happened to the Gurat. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm shutting it down. It's all gone too. It's all gone too far. Broken containment to drama streamers and the schizos like me. And the schizos who throbbing hate boners for certain people who have started treating it as a gospel and dogma when it's only ever speculation. Started pushing the rat because it generally thought it made sense, humanized the people involved and gave them understandable motivations beyond the being evil for the sake of evil. I made the retry to keep the narrative like that instead of spreading as a schizo-bastardization version where certain livers are Machiavellian sociopaths. I guess it didn't work out that way and only signal boosted things further. If things die down or real evidence comes out that conclusively proves this stuff, I might bring it back. I know some of you probably have backups and screenshots and I can't do anything about that, but I no longer want any part of it, and hopefully at least the new version will stay here. And by here, he means it won't break containment, but it's a ridiculous idea and notion to think that things like this will not break containment, as they say on 4chan's VT. Because again, you really have to understand that in 2024, especially 4chan, any of it, any board, it's not a secret club anymore, and people that go there, that post there, will post things outside of it. It's not, you know, everything that happens on the board stays in the board. It doesn't work like that. And thinking that, you know, a huge post like this that, you know, logically, if taken at face value and if taken as true, does make sense, and that a thing like that would not be spread around into the wider internet is you know, is being more naive than some of the Nijisanji EN fans out there. So again, it's very stupid to think like that. It stopped being fun or productive a long time ago and started being a witch hunt. The idea of 30,000 people reading this and even 1% of being schizo enough to take it so seriously that they start harassing other people who may be innocent for all we know makes me feel sick, and the thought of it, anything happening to anyone, scares me. Doki said she doesn't want anyone to be hurt, just want to move on, and this wasn't helping anyone anymore. Please spread love and positivity to those VTubers you love. Stop sinning about people you hate. Just unsub and ignore everyone else. And one final note. No, this wasn't edited by Sisters or Hijack. I'm the original author and deleted it myself. Enough with the conspiracy theories, please. It's time to move on. It wasn't deleted because of any other document. The Doki character assassination doc is a disgusting hit piece. We'll get to that too. I did not get a cease and desist. Check the private version. This was created at the same time, and this one with the key held on by the author. You still doubt it's also gone. And yeah, that's the Gurat for you. Incomplete as it was, and providing, you know, some quote unquote insights into the situation. Again, seems reasonable on the outside, but again, all just speculation that, you know, just wraps it up in a really nice, tidy bow. That's also very tight. It would kind of explain the erratic behavior of some of the things that have happened within Nijisanji for the past 2 weeks or so. It's very compelling in parts, I do have to say. But whether it's true or not, you guys have to decide it on your own. It certainly seems plausible, at least. Some of the things there seem plausible, if not, you know, providing any concrete evidence of that, because that's how narratives operate. You just kind of, you know, try to piece everything together logically, and just doesn't work out very well without evidence, just speculation. But yeah, that's the Gurat. Now we get into some juicy fucking stuff. And what do I mean by juicy fucking stuff? We get to the last part of it. And what is it? The gay ops. Yes, the gay ops. arguably, this is gonna be probably the longest part of the stream. We'll see, but I'm dedicated to get to the end of it. And again, why is it gay ops? Well, because there are people thinking they are acting covertly in order to change the narrative about what was happening within Nijisanji. And we learn all of that from the Niji sister virtual YouTuber doxing forum, which I won't name by name, as they, get into action and already try to damage control things that were happening with Nijisanji. Because mind you, Elira's own announcement got community noted of that stream, of that 15-minute video. And here's the post regarding it from the Niji sister forum. Don't you guys think this community note under Elira's tweet is very biased and already proved false by Emicolor's latest tweet? Help me report it as not helpful and check these three options. Opinion or speculation. Typos or unclear language. Note not needed on this post. Done. I do the same with every false community note I see. Oh, false, quote unquote. And if you want to know how, again, Niji sisters are reacting on Twitter, have they been reacting the past week? Well, you'll have plenty of examples here. Also, weren't the majority beginning for some kind of transparency from the livers side? Well, now they gave it, but I still see the same people complaining. ISTG, they will never be able to satisfy people with who only want a specific answer in mind. Always keep an open mind. Or there's no point. The chat in Elira's stream right now is disgusting. Is this what the VTuber community is about? What happened to listening to both sides of the story? Why can't you just let these people who know a lot more than you speak without berating them before even hearing their opinion? Well, Miss or Mr. Niji's sister, Mr. Let me explain you why people are so upset by the statements. They're upset about the statement because it escalates the whole situation that was continuously de-escalated by Doki. They are creating trouble. That's why people are mad at them. It's so simple to understand. Please do not seem to understand that defamation is a literal crime in Japan. And Ecolor is a Japanese company. Of course, they wrote a script. They have an NDA and would clearly like to keep their jobs. It does not make their opinion less valid just because it's professional. Yeah, on the surface level, very professional. As Ike opens a water bottle in the fucking video as a relevant part of it. The comments aren't harassing the livers. They are all talking about how the company forced them to say all this. What are you talking about? Open your eyes. LKR, Op is coping hard as fuck, lol. You're just parroting what Doki said. The confidential documents in the quotation mark involve other people. Of course, they have the right to be informed of its contents because Doki pulled them into it. You all gung-ho about defending her, but when people defend Niji and their livers, you all act up. Again, Doki has never publicly named them, and they never needed to make this statement publicly to anybody. Again, I presume personally that they wanted to intercept her statements. They thought that she would make all of them public, but again, that was not her intention. And this is part of the royal fuck up. And this one, this person is gonna be is gonna appear quite frequently as a biggest Nijisanji bootlicker I've seen on the internet so far. Sorry. Someone's thinking about me. That's why I sneezed. I guess Niji sisters are planning to kill me. I know I'm not notable enough, but you know, it is what it is. Sniff. Rather than a liar, I feel like a sudden just felt unfair and that spiraled. Still don't know what she did was fair, but most likely to her, those things were true because that's how she felt. But that like girl was whack for recording Vox without him knowing, not gonna lie. You know that that crazy bitch Doki Bird, she's not right in the head and cannot be taken seriously. Good to know you're a Niji deep throater too. Wow, me saying recording without consent is bad is wrong apparently, lol. You're just weird hater who has no sense of logic. Not surprising. Y'all don't know how serious this is for them to lawyer it up before speaking. Literally the other did before too. So why can't the Ian Livers do that? They are speaking up for their side to dispel the rumors that people keep throwing at them. It's very brave of them. Mind you, chat, these rumors only exist because Nijisanji continues to make statements that fuck with their own fucking livers. And the livers themselves decided to make statements that implicated them. So no, it's not very brave of them to make these statements. It is, in fact, very foolish of them to make these statements as they make the situation much worse for themselves instead of better. Scripted? No. It's them being prepared and bracing themselves. They know they are in a disadvantage already. People made up their minds already before they still spoke up and want people to listen to their side as well. Again, a side that didn't need to exist in the public forum. And guess what? This person got engaged by another person here, and they're getting quote retweeted here because they as individuals didn't. It's Niji's legal team. When you are getting pulled into a legal dispute, they should have hired their own lawyers who will look out for their best interests, not the company. They're not speaking up for themselves, they're speaking for Niji. And this person subsequently, this crying, I think it's a cat avatar, they got blocked by this person for that quote retweet. The comments are really pissing me off. Why are you not taking accountability for your actions? Livers speak up. Why are you using them as meat shields? Okay, fine, the CEO speaks up. Haha, black company, this just makes things worse. Settle this privately. The fuck do you all want? For them to not make any fucking statement whatsoever. That's all they needed to do. All of these things should have been handled privately the moment the termination notice dropped. But even in the termination notice, there are things that were revealed that should have been private in the first place. So again, it's all on Nijisanji. But again, these are your typical Nijisanji fans that do not understand the word nuance. They do not understand why Nijisanji is being roasted by all people, and why talents speaking up about this where they shouldn't are being roasted about this too. To all people spamming L or sing the yacht on Elira's chat, you are embarrassing. You're like immature children closing their ears and making noises when someone is talking. LOL, if you don't want to listen, you shouldn't have tuned into the stream. So much for criticism. I am locking the replies because I can't type the same things over and over for people that lack reading comprehension. I'm not your teacher. Get back to school. You could say, chat, get educated. This one is pretty good too. The livers themselves, Doppio, Cloud, etc., stated that the company is their current livelihood and wish to stay. Nijisanji said they're changing, but some folks still want the whole branch to burn because you don't care about any liver from the get-go. And the reply to this is simply fantastic. The children... This is a Helk avatar, by the way. Very, very based manga choice. You guys should go read Helk. It's a very good manga. And in fact, it's getting an anime too. If you don't want to read the manga, wait for the anime to drop. The children announced that the sweatshop is their current livelihood and wish to stay, and the owner said they're going to build more guardrails so the fewer kids fall into the machinery. But I guess some of you just really don't care, do you? That's a great one. I love it. I love this statement. I'll be honest, I've been watching Selen for a long time. I've seen her break down in high-stress situations, react very emotionally. I think that these accusations are not out of character for someone like her. You know, again, this bitch, Selen Tatsuki, she's fucking crazy. Can be taken seriously. This is a Finana fan, by the way. Jackson Ryugu. The way this whole situation has completely tainted my view on some content creators I respected, not because of the valid experiences they went through, but just the wall of silence. I wouldn't just play Apex when my old colleague gets revenge porn spread in my name. Sorry. Again, what they describe here as revenge porn. Remember that that Shuko guy or girl that drew Nijisanji porn as a form of expression? Including Vox sucking his own dick, just deep throating it all the way down. That's the revenge porn they talk about. I think Shuko also drew some other stuff there, but I haven't seen it because I think they deleted it. But this is the revenge porn they're talking about. And I don't think that qualifies as revenge porn. I don't think that meets the qualifications. And mind you, wanting people to speak up because, you know, Doki Bird, formerly Selen, is responsible for all of this, right? Even though she continuously has said to not harass anybody and to made statements to de-escalate the situations constantly. But no, she just continued to speak up about it. This is kind of like, reminds me of the Hogwarts Legacy situation where Silvervale was telling not to harass people, and people were constantly saying, you see, these people are all getting harassed in your name. Why aren't you making a statement? Why are you letting all of these fans that are your fans harass all of these people? And even though, you know, Silvervale has made all kinds of statements not to harass people, but, you know, whatever fits the narrative, I guess. And there's more. Not mentioning names, nor do I care to have to deal with that fuck-ass audience. Just hella disappointed that multiple people who have that chance to do the right thing are not. Hope they heal and get their peace. I will just be far fucking away from that environment. I wish this conflict would have said, probably stayed behind the fucking scenes for everyone's benefit. Well, now you understand what the situation is about. I'm glad you have that much self-awareness. I'm not blaming any party for defending themselves, and still a big fuck you on all fronts, and they ignore harassment and bad environments to save their own skin. It's about you fuck ass mama and the fact she allowed you to gestate in your womb. Wow, that's it's very angry. It's a very angry statements. Speculate and get pissed in your own spaces. You irritate me even a little. I'm blocking you, then moving on. So angry. I'm all gonna say a few. She exhibited a lot of bullying attitude. Changed manager and confirmed to bully the said manager. We all thought it was a banter. She kept acting for pity points while her said so friends are going through so much hell. But yeah, she's the victim now. Again, victim blaming. If the recording was a test before the collaboration, this is referring to the recording of Vox here. Why was Vox not told that he was recording and the content being saved almost 1 year? Or used to prove company's favoritism on some live versus evidence? Statement is illogical. If you really want to move on, just admit what you did to Vox is disgusting. The argument between Niji and Doki should not involve innocent livers, even when they wanted to help you and considered you as a friend. Well, considering, you know, they apparently mentioned in the things that Doki put up towards Niji's lawyers and Nicolor's lawyers, I don't think they're that innocent as you claim them to be. Stop being a baby. Your mental illness is not an excuse to avoid anything. Stop crying on the internet. Don't use others' sympathy to achieve what you want. If you want to defend yourself, you're better managed in a more mature way. Yeah, what Doki did is immature. Again, the constant de-escalation of the situation is being immature. These are Niji sisters. these people are all Niji sisters. You have to understand how they think. There's a lack of understanding the bigger picture here, constantly. Oh, and this one by a Chinese user. This one is gonna piss you off. Google Translate it. Literally, quote retweeting Doki. Oh, you have moved on? What about the rest of you? Are you going to show off your misery and then tell these bastards to continue barking? Funny, I don't know what kind of test requires recording the call record. It also requires the other party to know. Who gave you permission to move on? You'd better come out and make it clear. You really deserve to die. Remember how I told you that a lot of these weird Chinese fans are like this? Well, here's one out of many. You should have seen it with the Vox Rainbow situation. There's so many of those. Very fucking classy. Chinese Niji sisters. And there's more. Damn, you should reply in your native language. The offensiveness of these sentences is 0. Don't be scolded and cry and commit suicide like Doki. Again, classy. And remember, gay ops are up and about as the Niji sisters are coordinated on Discord now. Daily reminder of Sisters and Bros Army private Discord. We're gonna use the Discord to fight back against Niji haters and their lies. To show the truth about Salen's true self and to coordinate our support to all the livers. I know we already do it, but coordinate actions speak louder. Or simply to talk with each others without the hall of friends, interferences and baits. But you don't want to join, it's totally fine. We're not leaving this site. We're still gonna be here to fight with your flagging the baiters and bringing positivity for the livers and fans. Again, coordinated gay ops. This is Hex Haywire's EL account, by the way. Please respect my colleagues and friends. I only ask you to do unto others as you would have done unto you. We all hurting. You have to remember what he said. I fully support and stand behind my peers on this message. It's been so difficult and trying on all of us. I hope to have you and the other there, and thank you for your love and your patience. But again, no one thinks about Doki in this situation like at all. Here's Nanobytes, popular independent VTuber Nanobytes contributing to shitting on Nijisanji and then being quote retweeted by a dumbass. Let's read Nano's statement in full here. Notice announcement. I Nanobytes hereby declare I will cease working with Nijisanji and any color incorporated. I will no longer be providing them my services and artwork and will henceforth be discontinuing any current and planned collaborations with the company. I deeply apologize to to fans of mine who are disappointed by this decision, and it wasn't an easy one, and I know you all greatly looked forward to the continuation of my work with Nijisanji. I thank you all for your support recently, and I hope you continue to support further collaborations and partners of mine in the future. By the way, I didn't do any of the above before anyways. We already know they were scam. It's just a humorous post for clout. The impact of the decision on my financial results will be negligible. GG easy. Bnui. And this person not being able to read, I quote retweeted her with this. It's funny how no one in Niji ever commissions her in the first place, but she put the statement LMAO. Again, Niji sister reading comprehension in full force, on full display. It's funny how you can't read the whole thing. And you know, if you're wondering what's happening on the Nijisanji sister Discord, well, this. Hello, the channels are privated for non-members. Send me a DM with your Twitter account or anything else to prove you're one of us. And fucking cult. Sorry guys, we don't want hollow friends here. If you have any other way to prove yourself in a more private way, feel free to do it. Prove your allegiance to the Nijisanji cause. This is so gay. That's partially that's why it's called gay ops. All I can do is promise I will be the only one to see your DM. If you don't feel sure about the Twitter account, contact me anyway. Another member managed to give me another proof. We can find a way. Insane. And guess what? The positive spam for Niji is very likely the Niji sister doing as well, because you know, as your favorite VTuber company's PR is in the gutters and just going down the drain very, very fast. The only thing you think about that you can do is to quote-unquote spam positivity, and they started this very ineffective, very easily to hijack hashtag on Twitter. Positive spam for Niji, and here's Kyo commenting on it. With the current situation going on around Nijisanji English, the talents being attacked, the company losing supporters, the few supporters they have left, have banded together to spam them with support using this hashtag. Some are calling them enablers, or you know, just very stupid. They are organized fans from a dog site raiding in an attempt to play defense for Nijisanji. Please report on this. Very likely that they are responsible for this hashtag as well. And that's the only thing they're responsible for. And you see here, I went. They're very mad about their hashtag being compromised. I went to the hashtag positive spam for Niji and tag, and there's a lot of nice posts, but some idiots are trying to hijack it, saying you're enabling bullies. This is corporate worship. I mean, speaking of worship, considering, you know, they demand proof of allegiance to the Niji cause, it kind of feels like a cult to me. Here's my favorite live shows graduated ones. Is so disrespectful to the victim. And I have a public Twitter account. Mine is a private lurker account. But if I'd reply under all of them asking for proof, it's annoying watching them just run with all the Doki's claims when she hasn't shown no proof for any of them. This hate mob won't even let fans show support for their Oshis. Let's report them. Honestly, they're also commenting on other people's genuine posts now. I don't even think reporting is gonna do anything. We're just gonna have to block him. It's trending. They're now aware of it, and I'm probably gonna start spamming it to drown out the actual posts. I'm just so tired of this. LOL. I'll reply. Now people are calling it cocksucking because of this. Or these people are aware that that's what we've been doing to Doki this entire fucking time. They bluntly follow her when she has shown nothing to back up her claims. Simply because you hate media and eat slivers. Sorry, I'm generally so upset. This is generally supportive hashtag. It's about to get overwhelmed by antis. We won't be overshadowed. If we go to help from EN, GPC, and KR, and many other fans, don't give up. Block the hater post. You will see many people are with us. Very cool call to action. And again, more Niji sisters. More of that. I don't wish this to anyone. Hurts over 30 plus people in a company that can probably never recover from this, and many livers are so mentally hurt they can't stream and might feel like attempting to. Oh, the poor fucking company and the poor actions of the company of the livers themselves. Like, yeah, this is all Doki's fault. This is all Sullen's fault. It's not their own actions, you know. Again, you see this chart here in the background. Fuck around, find out. Yeah, well, it's going like 50 miles an hour up that direction. They're fucking around and continue to find out. That's what's happening. It's so fucking unfair. She and her fans saying, move on, move on, move on. After her fans pulled through, Elira's revenge art, the fake screenshots of Scarlet and Aster here, because, you know, Oshimark's representative. Them saying every post are not from them, but posted from their manager, making Scarlet left because of a sudden flock of plus. people coming through her stream and painting her as a messiah because of her card comment, and many other more. Just like they want to move on. Comments on YouTube, people from fandom milking the content, JAMA tubers, Reddit, 4chan even. Here we're pointing fingers at Elita, Ike, and Vox, and all Ian livers, and just like the damage has been done and they want to move on. Fuck you. Oh, and this buddy here, this pal, he got community noted for bullshit. He had a whole fucking thread about trying to debunk, not debunk, what Doki was saying. We're not gonna read most of that. We're just gonna read the first statement because he just says no, and then just tries to use the very good no-use strategy of online arguments. Having lived with Amber Heard-esque person for 17 years, I can attest this is some Amber Heard level bullshit. I gave Doki lots of benefit of the doubt. Even donated to her after she was terminated, but I've seen enough. Pure manipulation, self-contradiction, obvious lies, and community noted. Pure manipulation, self-contradiction, obvious lies. At the time of this note, the poster has yet to provide any actual rebuttal, reasoning, or sources to the statement Doki made. And they didn't. And I'm not going to read his thread because he's retarded. And he got community noted for a reason. And, you also have to look what's going on 4chan's VT at the same time. Several livers have been contacting influencers, in particular streamers and some Twitter personalities. Expect a concerted expose once if they get the okay from Central. Again, could be rats again, but considering Niji sisters have a actual documented gay ops effort, you kind of start to believe in a lot of things, even in the livers themselves going out of their way. Riku is quite upset as we are in the middle of an internal investigation. There will probably be restructuring in the EN branch. Livers have been instructed to go on as usual if they can, while making sure to control their chat and fans. Livers have been instructed any and all allusions to the current events of any remarks regarding recent events can be grounds to suspension. One liver was already reprimanded, but they were not actioned against. The PR manager that provided the debriefing effectively stated, "You are confident you can control your fans and communities as well as your own remarks and interactions. Please go back to streaming as soon as possible. Otherwise, you are free to wait, provided you don't remark about current events on social media. Using corporate or personal accounts." One liver was provided with an example of what not to do. And it was about a comment made on a past live account. They were not really reprimanded, but were made aware that even that is not permissible. A lot of confusion still. From various conversations I've had, I get the feeling that a lot of livers want to go back to normal and continue with their schedule as scheduling projects. Again, a quote-unquote leaker. I don't know. Real or not. Possible. Possibly not. Who knows? There have been a lot of... mind you, there have been a lot of leaks, Nijisanji leaks to 4chan that turned out to be very, very fucking true. And most of them dealt with graduations and how they're going to be announced. And they turned out to be 100% accurate. So who knows if this is real or not? Could be. And, considering going to influencers and, idiots getting involved in this situation, here are some logs from Daph's. Daph, by the way, is a streamer that some of you may know from a collab I think she had with Magni, and people had taken exception to that because Daph is a retarded anti-white racist. She made some very suspicious comments in the past, and here's this whole thing. We're not going to be reading this. This whole thing is her running her mouth about Doki, saying that Doki slandered the other Nijisanji talents, and essentially thinking that there's actually a lawsuit going on because someone, an unspecified, I don't know if this person was ever stated who it is, told her that, you know, a lawsuit is going on, and Doki is essentially bad here because she's telling fucking lies, and Nijisanji good. Of course they wouldn't make a mistake because this is legal stuff, motherfucker, and you know, legal stuff is taken seriously, so of course Nijisanji wouldn't fuck this up. That's the TLDR of this. And then she kind of backpedaled on all of this when people started to notice that she was talking shit. I don't know, I guess. He didn't tell me shit. Who this he is, I do not fucking know. That's the biggest mystery here. I don't know, it seems like people are saying it's not a lawsuit after all because it voids all the questions I had. Well, they're definitely reading these logs now, so I'll have to ask, like... You're telling me it was unreasonable to assume it was a lawsuit given all the prior context? Come on. I mean, if you're not a lawyer, you wouldn't probably be in the know about something like that, would you? Nobody here generally gives a fuck. Definitely not my viewers. There were maybe 10 people here when I was yapping. They blew it up themselves, so, okay. Again, this fucker gets into drama consistently, and she's known for that. Like, I think her biggest claim to fame is getting like into squabbles with K-pop stans about some shit. I'm not too familiar with the details on that one, but you may be wondering, like, why is she involved in any of this? Well, because bitch collabed with Nijisanji talents before, and maybe that gives her enough motivation to play defense. Here, who the fuck knows what motivated her? Maybe she just wanted attention, whether positive or negative. I don't think this bitch cares. But yeah, moving back to what's been happening on 4chan at the same time. From what I understood, since I'm keeping almost everyone at arm's length at this point, for my own image, they want to effectively speak to their friends about their truth. So. That a grassroots coordinated pushback turns public sentiment around. Sorry, gotta take a sip. Been drying out like the desert. Alright. I think I'm good for several more minutes. And the discussion on Discord is infantile, with several livers providing absurd suggestions and engaging asinine thought experiments about how they can turn sentiment around. From what I gather, a recently graduated liver will lay the groundwork, since they would be bound only by the non-disparagement agreement and the non-disclosure agreement, allowing them to provide information on certain topics with no particular risk. Other graduated and terminated livers have refused thus far to engage because they may or may not be signed with other agencies. One particular liver stated that if they're going to go through with this, they would have to go through proper channels. And everyone else in line will likely pitch in as providing information anonymously to their friends in their influencer sphere. They could restore Nijisanji's Any Colors image in the West. I don't have the smallest of inklings whether Any Color management will agree. The PR managers will that have been effectively tutoring us be very kind and professional. I did not get the sense of impending doom, but it's clear the branch will be restructured once the personnel that Nijisanji is looking for gets hired and orientated. Again, might be some leaker Nijisanji insider talking about what's going inside there. Might be all, you know, someone just making shit up. But a statement like this exists, and it's, you know, goes pretty in deep into these things. Might become relevant later, might just be complete bullshit. Who knows? But it exists. And then we get into that document that I was talking about with which essentially tried to be painted as unbiased, neutral, and just, you know, a document to share around, telling people not to harass the livers, but also putting Sullen's, Doki Bird's statements into question. And we're not gonna read the document per se, but we're gonna read the responses to it. I'll show you the document here in its entirety, and then we're gonna get into the debunk portion of it. And very big document. It was also edited too. Huge thing. This document is still available, but not in its correct form because it was edited because it decided to use the line of thinking of, you know, Sullen has mental issues, therefore she a crazy bitch and shouldn't be taken seriously, because this document also included that. Later on, after pushback, that was edited out of the document. Here's that part where, you know, Sullen a crazy bitch in many paragraphs. Here's more than that. Intense mood swings, extremes, act impulsively and recklessly. Again, putting her mental capacities into question. But I will read this part because this is this is important. This is not an attempt to diagnose Sullen with BPD. You can find the references to it still up on their Twitter account. She does have actual BPD. He has said it so in the past. These tweets are now deleted, but she did say so. And it used to be in her Twitter bio. It's not a secret. Nor am I claiming that her allegations are false. Reducing to her disorder, there is no confirmation that she has all, if any, of those traits because of BPD. Even using it as a scapegoat explanation, obviously, a simplistic list of symptoms cannot encapsulate her lived experience or explain away the hardship she has faced. And do not mean this maliciously. I truly believe this may provide an important perspective on many of her patterns of behavior in the past 2 years, including impulse and drastic reactions she later regrets over spending on personal projects, including pushed to the edge in the days following the privatization of her cover, an influx of messages of confusion and worry by other livers. People constantly state her attempt as concrete evidence of active bullying from within the company. This is a suggestion of how this may not be the case. And it comes to a conclusion. And this one is also important. To make it clear, I do not believe Sullen is lying about her suicide, nor about being in the darkest point of her life. After her termination, it would argue that the people hone in on this fact alone and refuse to actually listen to any other statements made by other parties, and even Sullen aside from this. And again, the section of this document has been edited out where BPD is mentioned and questions her sanity, essentially. Edit. A section previously covered references that Sullen's past issues of mental health diagnosis. I have since chosen to remove it. This information was not included to demonize her, incite her hate against her, or minimize her pain, but to suggest both sides can coexist without one being clearly wrong or lying. Or, you know, like one can be lying. It's very possible too. But I still believe this may offer important context to understanding why certain actions and behaviors may have happened. This is a more speculative argument compared to the rest of this document, and it relies on assumptions about her current mental health based on the statements from 4 years ago, which may no longer hold true. I do not wish to invite further bad faith interpretations on this topic. Let me reiterate, I'm not claiming that her allegations are false. Reducing her to a diagnosis, there is no confirmation that she has all, if any, of these traits because of it, or even using it as a scapegoat explanation. Obviously, a simplistic list of symptoms cannot encapsulate her lived experiences, but explain the way the hardship she has faced, and so on and so forth. But guess what? The person who first posted this document, guess why why this tweet here is archived? Well, because the person that posted this now deleted their account. Like completely, they're just gone. The person who first posted this, that apparently also wrote this, they deleted their account. Doesn't exist anymore. And you may be asking yourself why? Well, because this document was penned by the Niji sister website itself. You know, again, the website responsible for shit talking and doxing VTubers and shitting on Hololive predominantly. Good work, sisters and male sisters. So someone mentioned adding links to the Tapa page, but I missed out on this existing. Please inform. Kenya funds links to the follow, please post. Where said she frequently ghosts her manager. Selen tweets about the costume contest. Plus, I agree, explain the context of any color / being a JP Corp / VTubing in general, and how AC actually very lenient is important, but not sure exactly how to write this source, this / source this, etc. And in progress, here you can see, it's their fucking document. You can start with detailing how AC deals with misbehavior. Stealth suspensions can sound scary, but if you think about it more clearly, it's only the way to punish high-profile employees without hurting their public image. Oh, it's just, you know, a little bit of punishment here. There, nothing too serious. Imagine for a second how differently Zion's situation would have gone. Hey guys, I privated my 2.0 debut stream, made SA jokes at the expense of the victim. Mind you, again, the victim that doesn't fucking exist. It's a fucking video game character. So, again, shut the fuck up about this. Nearly got an AC sued with a sponsored joke. Again, these nuts, remember, it was a these nuts jokes. That was the problem for them, by the way. We'll be back soon. Not only would she have been heavily criticized, we would have been hesitant to support her and likely would have stunted her growth. Bad for AC and her. By telling the world she was just innocently meeting up with family, it would have resolved it in privately with all the time in the world and no public pressure, but also save her image of being very recklessly an irresponsible employee. And mentions several cases of problematic livers still active in a company or given multiple chances before having no other way to grad or term. By explaining their methods and protocols, it shows that they aren't strict enough to immediately punish livers by forcing them with termination or grad. They give them time to recoup and discuss with managers to see if the drive to continue to improve, even if it's so bad. Illegal. Ronan will steer here out. By the way, about JP laws, JP doesn't have concept of fair use, so companies are really serious about parents because without it they can get in trouble. This exactly, they think it's a gotcha mode when Niji actually gave her a favor. Imagine how embarrassing it must be if they announced that she got suspended within her first month. These gave her an option to make up an excuse for an absence instead of publicly shaming her. Yeah, but then they shamed her publicly anyway. This was a whole fucking hit piece with an termination. Same for fucking Selen. These people are fucking insane. This is how corpo bootlicking and dick sucking looks like. If you wanted to know what it looks like, there it fucking is. Defend the company at any fucking cost. And here's the popular Niji sister I was talking about that's gonna return. Because guess why? They decided to share this Niji sister forum penned document anyway. Initially, I didn't really want to read this since I didn't want to feed into this drama, but turns out it's actually a good read. I doubt people will actually open the document if this is just reading tweets, so let me talk about it here for visibility. Fred, not gonna be reading all that, Fred. But motherfucker, good community, know that the document contains multiple downplays and comparisons towards Sun's mental health and work life. It also completely neglects the fact that Selen herself, now Doki Bird, found out about her termination only after the announcement. And guess what? The Niji sister document got refuted, debunked as well. And I don't know if I want to read through all of this because it's extremely fucking long, just as this other document. So, you know, I'll spare you my fucking dyslexic reading of this one too, because I think I've read enough for one day. Again, I could make this a 5-hour stream because the document is again very fucking long. But you know, instead, you can later on watch this relevant part of the stream on your own. Not that I'm lazy or anything, but you know, it's so very fucking long. So I'll just show it to you, just like the Niji sister document itself, and then you can read all of this on your own. A lot of the points here that are used to refute this document have been also stated not only by me but also in chat, so you guys are familiar with the talking points to you know, go against these a lot of these insane arguments that Ninja Sisters put up. And full document right here. And I'm also gonna link it, don't worry about that. But in case someone wants to read it like this for whatever reason, I'm still gonna show it in its entirety. And after I'm done showing it, I'm just gonna link it too. So that just, you know, it existed in this state and not any other state. But then again, if you wanted to read other versions of it, if the other versions of it are available, that is, you can always look this stuff up on the Wayback Machine to see what other versions of this document existed. If there are actual snapshots of that kind of thing. Because again, see how extremely long this is? It's a whole battle. So Nijisanji Civil War is it's not only livers versus former livers, but it's also fans versus other fans and anti-fans as well. People put so much effort into this because I do think, you know, someone has to go through these lengths in order to defend Doki, because these people really fucking tried hard to paint her in the worst light fucking possible. Huge fucking thing. And lastly, we have two final things from the Niji sisters, and I'll link you that previous document in just a moment. The community note and random internet personality said you're wrong. Well, okay, I'm actually going off this screenshot and this video recount. No, you're wrong. I'ma kill you. Careful with how you word tweets. I'm catching wind of plans to mass report us fighting for our side to try and get our account suspended. Give them as little ammunition as possible. We need you with us. Deadass. I publicly say this now. If people do that shit to me, I'm going to add her and directly ask her to get her fans off me. Yes, I will call their mother if they want to play stupid games. LOL. Fucking Niji sisters. Speaking for myself, I will back you the fuck up if that happens. We all have each other's backs. That one fucking scene. God damn, these fucking people. But yeah, that's it. Let me link you the thing that I just showed you. I can actually find it properly again. I hope I can. Did I actually save it offline? Gentry. Just give me a second. Need Gentry. Ooh, where did I put that? Gentry. Oh, there it is. Good thing I have all of these things cataloged. So yeah, if you want to read yours, eat that for yourself. Here it is. It's in the chat. Here you go. And lastly, to round this stream off, in case you don't know what you can do if you with your Nijisanji liver subscriptions, Nijisanji and liver subscriptions, if you still have them, if you you know, if you have issues unsubscribing very fast from them, here's a handy video of someone made about that. How to unsubscribe from Nijisanji Yen. Let's watch that to you know, wrap this stream up in a with a less annoying thing. There it is.
What's going on, guys? Superf here. Today I'm going to be showing you the fastest way to unsubscribe from Nijisanji Yen's talent. Step 1. Type
Let's try again. Nijisanji Yen unsubscription speedrun. Any percentage color black. Rules: unsubscribe from all Nijisanji Yen talent up to Escalation and Nijisanji Yen official. No idea who the new ones are. Again, that's my experience too. Unsubscribing Nina, Mista, Yugo, Zion is not required. You should have unsubscribed to them already. Timer start when the first letter is typed and ends with all of the talent from above are unsubscribed. Only unsubscribe from official Niji. And who actually made this video? I'm gonna link it to. Hold up. What was it called again? Unsubscribing to all Nijisanji. I'll link that in the chat. All Nijisanji. Oh, yeah, there's the video. You guys can watch it on his channel and subscribe if you want to partake in the Nijisanji any color speedrunning experience brought to you by Supev79. I guess that's the name of his channel. There you go. Enjoy that. What it is. Subscribe if you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Luckily, we got through it faster because I decided to redact a lot of this shit. because there's really too much stuff sometimes when it comes to these streams, and some of that stuff, you know, you just need to be made aware of, and then you can look it up on your own. It's pretty much that kind of experience. So I hope you read the supplementary material. There's not going to be a test later on. I'm not going to quiz you about it, but you know, it's just worth knowing that this stuff exists out there. And I really hope, you know, mostly for Doki's sake here, that all of this is going to wrap up, and the monkeys over at Any Color will not continue to escalate this whole situation further, because all they've done is just fuck themselves over time and time again. Did it on their own, and it just proves that they do not have competent staff on board, and if they don't have it, they will continue to make these mistakes, and they will just sink their reputation. They should be glad. They should be fucking glad they have Niji sisters as fans who will suck them off at every occasion. Doesn't matter how badly they fuck up. They should be glad they have hardcore fans like that will give them money anyway. Doesn't matter how badly they fuck up. Doesn't matter how many people they're gonna hurt with their actions. Doesn't matter if they even hurt their own employees by implicating them in, you know, legal proceedings that should have been kept private. But, you know, all in the day's work for Any Color, Nijisanji, and Ian Branch. The wisest thing Nijisanji, Any Color would do at this point is just to shut the fuck up, never open their mouths again, just go about their business, solve everything behind the scenes as was supposed to be done from the start. But, you know, in all of their wisdom, they just didn't do that at all. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I think the highlight of the stream is Mr. Yuckman here. I'm not gonna call him Riku Tazumi. I'm gonna call him Yuckman, Dancing Yuckman, and I think I'm gonna bring him back whenever new Nijisanji drama emerges, because it's gonna emerge. These people cannot help themselves. If something doesn't happen next week, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I do hope it doesn't happen, but you know, I'm not optimistic. I'm just not optimistic because these people are fucking stupid, and they'll continue to make these fucking mistakes. But yeah, I'm glad you joined me on this recap of Any Color fucking themselves over time and time again. Next time, I hope it's not gonna be another Nijisanji stream, because I despise Nijisanji. All the talents that I care about, even slightly, within Nijisanji are just fucking gone now, because they were smart to leave before this whole company imploded on itself. And I bet they're happier for that. Either in Bishoujo, I mean, the ones I liked aren't in Bishoujo. the ones I actually liked are now independent or have not returned to VTubing just yet. So yeah, Selen and Pomu, who currently is not a VTuber but might be again at some point. We'll have to wait and see. These people are excuse me, Nijisanji drama. It puts me to fucking sleep. But yeah, Selen and D-Skune, that's what we're gonna call her from now on, like ex-Pomu. Or we can call her ex-Pomu or punished Pomu, I guess. Punished Pomu will be more fitting, considering her love for Metal Gear Solid. So punished Pomu, and And Doki are just gonna be fine. I hope, especially Doki, since just any color won't let her live. She's just trying to live her life, and they just continue dragging her into this shit. Next week, I hope we're gonna do something different, because again, I'm sick of Nijisanji. I'm sick of their shit. Why can't they just end up in disappearing? Turn out well for everybody. Ultimately, even Digi Sisters could probably get a life at that point and do something else with their existences. Yeah, I'll have to ponder really, really hard what we're gonna be doing next time. Because there's a lot of things to talk about still. Like, things from the past. Things I've been sitting on for quite a bit. Like, there's some video content we can watch. There's a lot of things to do. So, I will have a whole fucking week to ponder this question. You guys can kind of give me suggestions if you have any suggestions for next streams you want me to do on anything, like anything at all. Just put them like in the comment section, maybe to this video, or even in the community section of my YouTube channel. Soon, let me take a quick look. Soon, my what is it? Hold up, I need to check the dates on this. Just real quick. Soon, my copyright strike from the people of power in Idle Yen will expire. That's gonna expire in 13 days. Then we can have a celebratory party with that. And then we can have some sort of special stream, I guess. We have to figure what that's gonna be. But again, those are just plans for the future. But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming out to this shit show. Nijisanji's shit show is eternal. And it's gonna continue to exist as long as the company exists. I do hope the EN branch just gets dissolved, but I think it's more likely it's just gonna get restructured into something hopefully more effective. But then again, we're talking about any color here. And when have they made a good decision? I don't recall the last good decision they have made. Other than shutting up for the last few days. But you know, eventually a beaten dog is gonna learn something. The pain is gonna teach it that trick of shutting the fuck up. But yeah, you guys take care of yourself. Have a good day, good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you find yourself in the world. Stay hydrated, and unlike me, I should really drink a lot more. I only drank like not even half a liter of my fucking tea, and I should have. But yeah, I'm gonna play you off with a cool song. Hopefully you enjoy that. And I'll see you when I see you next time. Hopefully next week, but if not, I'm just gonna tell you when it's gonna happen anyway. But yeah, you guys take care, and bye-bye.